Hello everyone and welcome to 12 Days of Night, our festive yet frosty return of the super secret agency, with some extremely competent, I guess, and oh so chaotic super secret agents. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Liz and I will be your DM tonight. I use they, them pronouns. Hi guys in front of me, how very exciting. Please can you introduce yourselves and your pronouns, but we're going to leave your characters until we jump into the game. Don't all jump out at once.
Hi, I'm Natty Shehever.
Blah, blah. I believe that was Nat using she, her pronouns. Cool, who's next?
Hi.
Yes.
What? Hi, I'm Lola and I use they, them pronouns.
I'm G and I use he, him pronouns.
And I'm Sean. I also use he, him pronouns.
Thank you, everyone. Now, here is a word from our sponsors.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection, and if you put !dice in the chat right now, you can enter yourself into a raffle with the chance to win some dice for yourself.
Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can join for as little as one of your local currencies by following the link in chat or in the description below. Our D20 Club are the best. They have created a fan Discord for us, as well as a wiki page to keep track of all the Roll Together stories. Well, you can find that at rolltogether.fandom.com.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a cross-platform Dungeons and Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, games, and live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation, then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Oh, there's also a code in the overlay below. Enter it in-game and you'll get yourself a delicious free Electrum chest.
Check out our amazing supporters at Elderwood Academy, who make beautifully crafted gaming-themed accessories, including spellbook deck boxes disguised as ancient arcane tomes, hex chest dice boxes, and scroll and codex dice towers and rolling tray pairings. You can make your own with their online designer at elderwoodacademy.com.
You can find us across social media by searching for Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and you want to see our previous episodes, you can catch up straight afterwards on Twitch, YouTube, or your favourite podcast provider by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Since we are in the festive period of time where gifts are bestowed in abundance, if you are feeling charitable this year, please don't forget about local charities near you. They are a little smaller than the big ones, so they don't often get as much reach. Speaking of local charities, one that is near and dear to me is Saving Yorkshire's Dogs. I got my retired rescue greyhound from there, but they look after loads of canines. They really try to help dogs that are at risk. They have a saying that there's no such thing as a bad dog, and they never put healthy dogs down. We are going to put a link to their Just Giving page in Twitch chat shortly, and if you're in the giving mood, please donate to them via the link in Twitch chat, or of course consider giving to other local charities near you.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out exclamation point safety in chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG safety toolkit.
And with that, let's begin. The sleepy village of Steel Eye is one of several small isolated settlements which celebrate the 12 Days of Night festival. This is a special time where the sun shineth not in the sky for 12 days, and only the moonlight glistens on the snow-covered roofs. This is not usually a time of fear. This is normally the time when villagers come together, hanging lanterns from every doorway, preparing feasts, inviting neighbours to their tables, and celebrating the festive season. Each day there is a traditional parade, starting small with the presentation of the partridge in a pear tree and ending with the 12 drummers, drumming in the market square, welcoming the sun back onto the horizon. But Steel Eye is the last celebrating settlement. No one knows why, but the others have shut their doors to one another. In the villages of Slade, Wham, Wizard, and even 17 miles to the east in Stay Now, no candles are lit. The partridges have flown away and the drummers have abandoned their drumsticks. Yesterday, though, the super secret agency were enlisted to help. Steel Eye's mayor is the person who has enlisted them. He appears to be growing anxious that his village too may soon lose its festive cheer. Speaking of the super secret agency, this is where you come in. I'm very excited. You are all atop the backs of reindeer right now. Yes, reindeer. The full moon is low in the sky, and agents, you adopt the diamond formation on your reindeer, coming to the stop at the top of the highest hill, looking down on the village of Steel Eye. As you have this brief pit stop, what do you all look like? What are your characters' names? What are you doing? What do your reindeer look like? What are their names? There's many things that we all need to know, and I'm going to ask the most confused person right now, which is Nat.
No!
Yes.
You threw a curveball by saying we had to have reindeer names. Ah.
Who are you playing? Who are you playing? We'll start with that one first.
Okay. I am playing Snoot. Snoot is a little owlin boy, dressed in very traditional Elizabethan style, like smock and hose and little boots, and he's got a very large bow kind of around him. It's pretty much the same size as he is because he's small.
I love him.
Yeah, he's very adorable. He definitely would not be taking the lead in our diamond formation. He's probably at the back, but slightly off center. Not like in a true he's ruined the diamond already. And on the reindeer as well as Snoot, almost still smaller, but like nearly the same size as Snoot himself, is another boy. It's a very badly disguised dragon, also in a doublet and hose that's kind of hanging off him. Green dragon, slightly like squinty, little snaggle tooth, just dribbling a little bit, and where the dribbles have landed on the jerkin, it's all sort of burned away. And the dragon is just sort of like clinging onto the back of the reindeer and sort of dribbling a bit on the reindeer, who's having a terrible time of it. The reindeer who I think I hate myself for this, and only people who watched Rebecca's one shot that this character was originally from will understand this, but I think the reindeer is going to be called Piers.
Nice.
As reference to Tom's character, who was awful, but who Snoot saw as a father figure. Yeah, I think, what else do you need to know?
I would like to know what Piers looks like.
I think
Temperament,
is not a fan of this dragon dribbling on his back at all. So it's probably like one of the larger reindeer, like angry looking, a bit muscular, and is just like making noises every time a little bit of acid drips down onto his back. And there's been multiple times where Snoot has nearly been like bucked off.
Amazing.
Disaster.
Snoot.
Yes.
How many times do you think Snoot has ridden a reindeer?
Well, I think it's probably the same amount of times as the super secret agency has asked him to.
Right. Do you think Snoot might be able to make us a cheeky little animal handling check just to see?
Oh, he's actually quite good at that. Come on. There we go. Oh, that's not too bad. That's an 18.
18? Okay, yeah. You are at 1 with the reindeer that hates your dragon. Um,
It's okay, Piers. It's
yeah.
okay. It's
Piers is
nearly
feeling
over
conflicted,
now.
but is going along with it anyway. Amazing. Thank you, Snoot. And Verde, lest we forget. Moving on. Who's going to be at the front of the pack? Who's going to be sort of guiding?
I think that Elias will probably be at the front of the pack.
Amazing. And tell us about Elias. What does Elias look like?
Elias is rather short, but that is kind of the way for most gnomes. However, yes, though he is tall in his own way. He is tall for a gnome and rather well built and rather well muscled and has rather ornate armor and lovely to talk to. Not so much going on up there other than like a devout commitment to the sugar plum goblin and general devoutness. But yes, he has dark skin and he is atop pine sap.
Pine sap.
Pine sap. Pine sap is named after Elias because it's Elias' second name.
Oh, bless him. Bless his heart.
And pine sap is not a reindeer. Like, very specifically, Elias refused to ride a reindeer because he had his own steed.
Oh, so what is pine sap?
It's a donkey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Way better than a reindeer, especially in the
Yeah.
snow. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like a
Pine
good
sap
choice.
Is incredibly hardy in the same way that Elias is, and is kind of like, it's quite wide and very kind of. Can a donkey be built? I don't know. They're all very muscular.
My favorite bit about this is Elias is atop pine sap, who's not, accustomed to snow and is leading. This is my favorite bit about all of this. Pine sap is leading everyone else. Amazing. Thank you, Elias. We're going to move on over to G. Do you want to tell us about your character?
Sure. My character is Tobus, or Toby, an Aarakocra, who is probably maybe about like 5 feet tall, but has this kind of like very long gangly neck, and there's plumes of feathers on either side of his head that have sort of orange and black feathers, and is standing on the back of his reindeer.
Nice.
Kind of quite wide, like talons of his feet gripping onto the saddle, and wings and arms both wildly sort of swinging around to keep balance, in a way that to look at is like looks ridiculous and like he is gonna fall off at absolutely any second. Wearing I had not even thought about what he's wearing.
I mean, it is chilly outside, but don't let that stop you. You can wear whatever you want.
I think he's probably got probably like a belt over his shoulder that has like some sort of like bag sacks and things attached to it, just as storage. And he's got probably decent kind of thick trousers on that cover the majority of his legs, but actually the top of him is just his body and everything is just kind of quite thickly feathered.
What color are his feathers?
Mostly just kind of like he's got sort of white down or like light grey down the front and over his chest, and the rest of it is quite dark.
Amazing. And has Toby, given that Toby is sort of astride the saddle avec clause. Has Toby had a chance to maybe discuss this with your reindeer? Like, has there been a discussion, or have you just done it and your reindeer's sort of taken aback by this? Oh, and what's your reindeer called?
Zap. The reindeer's
Zap.
Zap. Which Toby is named him Zap, at least. Because he has a scar on his cheek that is a sort of a lightning bolt zap.
Nice.
Sort of zigzag thing. And yeah, I think maybe not discuss this specific thing, but there's been a bit of discussion, and it's Toby, being who he is, has gone for, he thinks, the coolest of the reindeers, the temperament of the most chilled out one, that he can get away with doing this kind of nonsense.
So I need to know how cool this looks, or otherwise. So let's just go for either performance or acrobatics. I
was going to say, right, in Toby's mind, it looks great. And I would say my acrobatic skill is pretty decent. So that's, but my performance is not, I don't think.
Well, you roll and we will see.
It's not terrible, actually. He's a sorcerer, so his charisma's all right. So yeah, hang on. Where's my dice gone? Here we go. Oh, that's a bad roll, though. That's a 7.
7. Okay, cool. So, Thomas, you're sold. The rest of you are very confused about what is happening right now. The feathers billowing in the wind, the reindeer Zap, who is confused but going along with it. Toby's having a great time, but the rest of you perhaps are slightly confused. And in this confusion, Sean, can you tell us how you're getting on?
Yeah, of course. So I am playing Savonatai, the Wakeful. Savonatai is a Kalashtar, a monk of the Astral Self variety. Savonatai is from a kind of very arid, very kind of desert-like country, so is typically would be wearing just kind of trousers and then probably nothing on top, showing off his wiry frame and multiple bruises from the many fights he gets into. Given that it is a bit chilly, he has conceded and is wearing a vest top.
Very appropriate, yes.
Yeah, and he's almost completely bald except for a single ponytail with long white hair, a bit of kind of dark stubble on his chin, but otherwise, otherwise shaven. And is apparently the tallest person in this group, even though is only kind of average height, about 5'10".
It's average height, Sean. I'm sorry, as someone who is not average height, I'm confused here.
I mean, I'm going by my average, so.
Okay. Sean's actually 7 foot, everyone. If you're wondering, in Twitch chat, Sean is a giant. Continue, Sean.
I am not. Tom is the giant.
True.
And as for my reindeer,
yes.
So being a Kalashtar, Savonatai is used to kind of telepathically speaking with people, and decided to try this technique with the reindeer who, not speaking common, did not answer, so has named his reindeer Rude Dolph.
Nice. Rude Dolph. Is it DOLF or DOLPH?
I
and
think
does it have a little dot over the O?
Possibly, but maybe only from kind of drips of ink. Like, Savonatai would just kind of write it out as it sounds.
Amazing. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Now, you are all experts in some niche fields. Are they related to this particular mission? I don't know. Probably, maybe. We will see. But you, as a group, you have been told the following. You've been told that the mayor received a garbled missive from the neighbouring village of Staynow. The missive read, "They see you when you're sleeping. They know when you're awake. Don't care if you've been bad or good, but make sure you've got a stake." You've been told the villagers in the town below have reported sightings of small feral creatures trying to get down people's chimneys. You also know that the mayor is expecting you in the town hall shortly. The sky above you is a night sky, but the moon, it's actually only 10 a.m. or so. You're going to be meeting the mayor in about 10 minutes, I reckon. But as you are sort of looking down at the town, you each hear individually, but at the same time, the voice of your leader, known as Y, the singular letter Y. Hello, agents. A very merry Winterfest to one and all. We've not provided you with any items for this mission because, well, we believe you're just all too damn good. Now, you are all contractually obliged to rid this village of whatever afflicts it, but don't forget to have fun. Grab your baubles, agents, and let's get going. This message will not self-destruct. Thank you. And as the message ends, and as you make your way to the town hall to see the mayor, what's going on as a group? Is there anything you would like to talk about? Or look out for, or, you know.
Did anyone pack any steaks?
I always have stakes. I always have all manner of implements ready for any eventuality. Is
Well
very
done,
heavily laden.
or well done, or medium.
Well, I don't know. I'm not really one to have my meat well done.
Right, well, if that's lunch sorted, then what are we here for? I didn't really, I sort of forgot to read the message before I got on the reindeer. I was a bit distracted, you know.
That's understandable, but I actually don't know either.
Did anyone read the message?
Savoradai?
Savonatai very rarely speaks, so is just going to kind of point.
Does that mean you read it, or the Elias read it?
I looked at it, definitely. I spent some time looking at it.
I also spent some time looking at it, but I thought it was perhaps a bit, I don't know, why seemed to be fine taking me on board for this project, but they did not ask if I could read, so I thought it was a bad time to mention it, but maybe now is a good time?
Right. Well, Y said something about Steel? I stay now? Don't go?
Well, Steel Eye's where we are. I know that much.
You have just passed a sign that says Steel Eye. Welcome to Steel Eye.
Yeah, but
Now
how
the
many of us
population
can
of it.
read?
How many?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it have a population on the sign for Steel Eye?
It does. It's meager at best. I'm gonna say, you know, D&D village style, 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? We shall go to the biggest building because that's probably where the most important person is, and they will tell us what they need.
Would, because Elias, you are leading, aren't you, on top of Pine Sap? Would you mind awfully making for me some kind of check? Survival, I think, may be the best. Your face tells me everything, Lola. Survival, please, if you wouldn't mind awfully.
Can I give advantage by flying up to have a look?
You can, yes.
Okay. Okay, the advantage was amazing. It was very much needed because I rolled a natural 1 on
Cute.
one of the dice and I had nothing. But
Let's roll the game, guys.
anyway.
Let's roll the
But
game.
I did, and I got a 19 on the other one,
Much
and I
better.
still had nothing. So, you know,
19. Okay, cool.
Go that way, I think. What's
Yeah.
that? We're there.
Certainly with the help of Toby, you are able to direct everyone to a building. Now, on this building, for those of you who can read, which we're still unsure at this time what that number is out of 4, but certainly 1, you would be able to see the words Town Hall written above the lintel. Can I ask what everyone's passive perception is?
15.
Oh, is that 11 for you, G?
16.
Okay.
And Verdays is 12.
Verde's having a great time. dribbling profusely. I'm so excited. Snoot and Savannah Ty, on the other hand, you certainly get the impression that you're being watched. And I would say with the 16, you can't help but notice how silent and still it is. There are no lights lit apart from the ones at the town hall. But something certainly seems very still, possibly sinister, or maybe calm. It's hard to say at this point in time.
What was it that Y said? They see you when you're sleeping, they know when you're awake? Maybe it's just them, and they're like, oh, there they are, they're awake.
Very possible. Wait, sorry, who?
The people that are watching us.
There are people watching us?
Yes. I just get that feeling, you know, sometimes it happens.
Can I make a perception check?
Go for it.
Nope, wrong dice.
While Snoot has been talking.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20,
Nice.
nice. Sean, I'll come to you in a second.
Yeah.
That natural 20, you can certainly identify who is watching you. All of the buildings where the lights are out, there are villagers, curtain twitching, and they're watching you as you pass.
I wave at some of them.
One of them is like a very small child who's kind of wide-eyed looking at these big reindeer coming in with the little people and the big person on. And their parent kind of rushes them away from the window very quickly. You hear sort of hushed voices telling them to stay away from the windows. Everyone else is looking up. Stay away from the windows. Fortunately, next to the town hall, you do see some stables, which may come in handy considering your current steeds that you have. Do what you will with that information. Don't let me play your game.
I don't think Toby has enough sort of wherewithal to be like, yeah, I should put this animal in a stable.
Do you just hop off?
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a question, Liz.
Yes.
What is the average intelligence of a reindeer?
That's a good question. I'm going to say not high.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's all right.
Why do you
Reindeer
ask?
stats.
Yeah, go on, Sean, have a Google.
I feel like as part of Snoot's attempts to work with peers and try and get where we're going without being chucked off a cliff,
Yes.
I would have at some point cast Speak with Animals, yes, using up one of my spell slots before we've even done anything, sure. Would have cast Speak with Animals and would have been like having a chat as well and asking like, what? I'm really sorry about Verde, but yeah, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Now we're here. What would you like to do while we are doing the important super secret agency business?
So you know, I don't like people drooling all over me when I'm walking or when I'm running, especially with someone on my back. You know, I can carry one person, maybe two people, but if the second person starts dribbling on me, that's when I get annoyed.
Oh, okay. Well, I could get off now and then you could just have one person dribbling on you. That's okay, right?
You know, I prefer it without the dribble, but I kind of like where we're going here with, the compromise. I enjoy the compromise. What was your question again, Snoot? It was Snoot, wasn't not Snot, it's Snoot.
Snoot, definitely Snoot.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Well, now that we are here in Steel Eye, we've got important business to do, but were you given a mission by Y while you're here?
You know, Y and me, we're not on talking terms.
Oh, no,
Not
what
like you and
happened?
me. She doesn't talk to me anymore.
Oh,
Um,
anymore? She
No,
used to.
I used to be hers, you know?
Oh, what happened?
She started dribbling on me and I just got so cross, you know?
Oh, I can see why you might be cross at Verde then. I am very sorry. He can't help it.
So let's get this thing straight. You know, I can see your friend. Is it Toby?
Yes, Toby.
Now he is just dismounted. Zap, I believe, is what Toby is called. We're in the middle of the goddamn street, you know? There's a stable right there. You know, the floor is dry. We're not gonna get wet feet. I bet there's some apples in there as well.
We should investigate the stable.
Or at least just put us in there, you know, before you go and
Oh,
talk
you
to
want
the
to
boss.
go to the... What a great idea. Yes, okay, we can do that. Everyone, we should take them to the stables. The reindeer want to eat the apples in the stables.
My favourite bit about this is we've talked about the fact that the reindeer's IQ is not that high, yet Snoot is asking the reindeer what to do. I love.
I mean, D&D Beyond, you know, plug there, says their intelligence is only 2.
Yeah.
But wisdom is 14. So, you know, that's a very wise. Yeah. Just, you know, don't ask it to do any maths.
They still have agency. They don't need intelligence for agency.
Exactly. You do not need intelligence to have a good conversation.
Correct.
Take that home with you. And Savonatai is probably already started to dismount, was actually just waiting for the opportunity to get off, although he's now realizing he's not wearing shoes.
It is crisp beneath your feet. Even in the stables, the cold is certainly apparent through your toes. What is also apparent, I will use your passive from earlier, your 15. There's ample hay for your reindeer. They will be well fed. The apple bucket is, well, the barrel of apples is not over. There's only like a couple of moldy apples remaining. But shelter? Your reindeer certainly look happy. You know, this is a nice place. I always wanted a stable just like this. Piers informs you, Snoop.
Do you not have one like that back at the super secret agency headquarters?
I got something similar, you know. It's not as big as this, though, you know. We have the individual stalls. I like my privacy. But nothing as grandiose as this, you know.
Oh, well, do you want to stay here?
But how are you gonna get home?
Well, that's a very good point. I don't know. Could you take me back home? And then once we're done with the mission, of course, that's important. We should do that first. But afterwards, could you take me home and then you could come back here?
That's something that we can talk about later. I mean, why will have to sign off on it, but yeah, sure.
I'll put in a good word for you for being so helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Snoop. And the rest of you hop off your reindeer.
I will say this before you move on. Sorry, I rolled I rolled a wisdom check for Verde, and Verde has gone and has eaten all of the rotten apples.
Oh, bless him. Okay. But Verde's quite acidic as it is, right? Would we say Verde would ferment with this?
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
start
exciting.
Smelling of cider.
Does Verde have any attacks or weapons, like a breath weapon, that sort of thing?
So he's too small for a breath weapon of his own at the moment. So, but he can add acid damage to our attacks. But he does have a bite attack.
Okay, his bite attack, I'm gonna say, is now also will have 1d4 acid damage added.
Great.
So please, you remember that because I won't.
I shall. Thank you.
As he is currently fermenting, which is lovely.
He's going to be doing cider burps for
Yeah. The town hall is a rustic building, kind of homely, constructed from stone. You see it's weathered from years of exposure to the chilly elements. There's a thatched roof, which is covered in a fine dusting of snow, and you see that the chimney kind of has a gentle stream of smoke kind of emanating from it. The front facade is adorned with intricate wooden carvings and a large wooden door. Equally intricate serves as the entrance. It is flanked by 2 lanterns, which, as you've seen previously, they're the only 2 that are lit in the entire town.
Savonatai will just kind of point, look around, and then walk off.
And we'll follow on.
Got you. Cool. You go into the town hall. Amazing. Standing at an impressive height, even for a furbolg, is, you assume, to be the mayor. He's the only person there right now, so you've been told to come in. This is the person within. He has a broad, stocky build, has moss green skin, complemented by like this crown of wild, tangled vines that frames his head. His eyes sparkle. He looks enthusiastic and kind of smiley. He's got this sort of kind of really eager smile on his face, especially as you come in. The insightful among you, is anyone particularly insightful?
18.
Savannah, okay.
Passive.
If anyone's 15 or higher of insight, you would get the impression that beneath the surface of this smiling facade, perhaps is a bag of nerves and trepidation, but he's trying to not show that. This mayor, I will tell you his name. He's Mayor Bramblethorn. He's wearing a robe. It has patches of various fabrics on it. His belt is laden with trinkets and charms. He wears an eccentric hat, has woven straw and kind of decorated haphazardly with flowers. You come in. Oh, hello. You must be from the super secret agency.
Aye. Nice hat there.
Oh, thank you. I made it myself.
I can tell.
Thank you very much. Did you find the place all right?
Yes.
Well, we're here, eh?
You are here, yes. So, I assume you know everything, you super secret agents, you tend to, well, I hear you tend to come in and do your thing, you know exactly what you're doing without much assistance, is that right?
Yes, that's exactly what we do. But so that we know that you know what
Right.
we're supposed to do, would you mind just telling us?
Well, of course I'll tell you, but I know that you already knew it, but I'll tell you it anyway. Right, okay, so the surrounding villages have got kind of quiet. I think you know that already. They all seem really worried. Now, we want to hold this festival, the 12 Days of Night Festival, but we're worried that, bad things might be happening, so I've adopted some emergency measures to maintain the correct traditional protocols for the Winterfest Festival and the parade, right? With the agreement of all the parties involved, we've confined the maids a milking and lords a leaping and ladies dancing, pipers piping, and drummers drumming to the warehouse, with enough food provisions to last them until the last day of the festival, when the drummers drum in the dawn. But normally that would be fine, but the maids are despondent, one of the lords has stubbed his toe, the pipers have got creative burnout, and the drummers have developed this RSI thing to do with their hands, their wrists. They've abandoned their drumsticks, and don't get me started on the partridges, the hens, the turtle he goes on, lists off a load of birds. I think they're all safe, a little ruffled, and everyone else is just staying in their homes with the doors locked. He kind of looks at you as if you know why.
Aye, well, we saw everybody, but why are they not coming out?
So, right. So, I like this game. It's like you don't know what on earth's going on. Right.
Pretend there's like an audience watching us, and because they haven't had the conversation or had the mission like we did, they need you to explain it.
You see, I get awful nervous around an audience.
Oh, sorry.
Do you think you can maybe give me some courage or something, just to, G me up?
You've got this.
Imagine him naked, then you.
Right.
Aye, the audience.
Right. He gets a very concentrated look on his face. You don't know who this man is picturing, but someone is being pictured. Right. So there have been noises coming from near the bakers and the butchers. Not the candlestick makers, though, just the bakers and the butchers. Food is going missing all over town. I think they made off with the geese laying yesterday, but I'm not entirely sure. People have been saying that there's been noises of footsteps on the roofs. There's also reports that some things crawled out from near the graveyard on the first of the 12 days of the 12 days of night. That's when they were sort of first spotted. would be ever so grateful if you could find out that that's where they came from and maybe put a stop to whatever this is. And I don't want to alarm anyone, especially the naked person that I'm envisaging. I think it might be vampire related. They all seem a bit forward with their teeth. No one's been bitten yet, but they've given it a good go from what I've heard. I worry.
Very good. That's exactly what we knew was happening and what we are here to deal with.
Right. Well, there's some things that I've not told you before that I should probably tell you now.
Yep.
Right? Unless you know that already. But I'll tell you anyway.
Oh, we know,
so
but
that...
you still need to tell us.
Right. Okay. So, right. They seem to be drawn to noise and light. Right? They don't seem to want to listen to anyone or anything about persuading them to not do what they're doing. They also seem extremely food motivated, whether that food is up and walking or not. Secret agents, I don't want to ask your names because that's a secret, right? Please help us.
Aye, well, that's why we're here. Aye.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, it only seems fitting, and he gets a little bit like he's been dying to do this entire time. Please let me offer unto each of you one of these 5 gold rings that we have as traditional emblems of our village to help you in your endeavours. These ancient traditional rings were worn by the founders of this village, but now I would like to give them to the... Oh, there's only 4 of you. I'll keep one. You have a look at the others, you see what you like, and I'll keep the other one, right?
There are 5 of us, actually. Verde, stand up on your back legs.
Tell us what Verde's. Amazing. Can we just get a performance check for Verde, please?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. Let me just check his little stat block there. I mean, I don't believe he has proficiency, so it'll be charisma, I guess. I rolled a nat 20 for a 19.
You tell us what that looks like. Bear in mind that 19 that it dropped to.
yeah. So I think at this point, Verde is used to the fact that not everyone is okay with a dragon just kind of wandering around. He's not bright, but that's been drilled into him. So we've practiced at pretending to be humanoid, and so Snoot had a little like wing flick of feathers signal that Verde is well trained to just stand up on the hind legs. And there's like he's got like a little flat cap hat that just sort of slides down to cover the face just slightly, so
nice.
It looks more boy maybe than you can't see the full dragon effect.
So Verde's limbs should not be able to kind of go into those positions, but he's practiced it so much that he's a pro right now. Completely sold. So 5 golden rings are being offered unto you. I will tell you their names and then we will dish them out. We have the Ring of Returned Gifts. I'll tell you what they do. Why not? The Ring of Returned Gifts. When hit with an attack as a reaction, you may force half the damage you take back onto the inflicting creature. The Ring of Tidings of Comfort and Armor. As a reaction, you can add +5 to your AC until the start of your next turn. The Ring of Surprise Presence. Immediately after you take a ranged or melee weapon attack on your turn, you can make an additional ranged or melee weapon attack as a bonus action. The Ring of the Ghost of the Winterfest Future. As a bonus action, you conjure a spirit within a 60-foot radius. You and your allies in the radius gain temporary HP equal to 5 plus your level. Once temporary HP has been granted, the spirit fades. The Ring of I Wish It Could Be Winterfest Every Day. As an action, roll a d10. The number roll dictates the spell cast from the ring. If you get a roll of 1 to 2, you get Fireball. A roll of 3 to 4, Lightning Bolt. 5 to 6, Guiding Bolt. 7 to 8, Tidal Wave. 9 to 10, Major Image. Mayor Bramblethorn steps to one side, and behind him you see on a desk there are 5 ring boxes. Each of them open. These rings already explained to you. Which ones are you going to go for?
I shall take the ring of surprise presents because, yes.
That's a better reason than I've ever heard in my life. And he passes it across to you.
Do you have a very surprising presence, Elias?
I certainly have a presence, and puffs himself right up.
Amazing. Do you want to do a performance check for me to see how see how puffed we get?
That armor is very gleaming, so we'll see. We'll see how much it gleams. That is 21, so
Elias is puffed.
Very puffed, very gleaming. I think the light from those two lights or whatever just kind of gleam off the, I don't know, slightly blinding. It's like
The mayor is blind right now from the effect of your armor. Right, okay, so feel free to grab your other rings and stuff. I'll just try and see. Right. What's everyone else going for? Go, G.
Toby will step forward and does a kind of like over dramatic wavy hand thing over them and then just grabs and manages to get the one we discussed.
Which one are you going for?
So it grabs and picks up the Wizard Could Be Winterfest Everyday ring.
Some ample spells for your perusal. Nice. Amazing. Savannah.
Savannah's been kind of looking at them, and after realizing none of them are a ring of warmth, will just kind of almost similar to Toby, just kind of dip that one,
Nice.
and picks up the ring of return gift. Unless
Amazing.
anyone's got any objections, slaps his hand away.
Amazing. And now, can you tell us what happens with Snoot and Verde in these rings?
Yes, of course. Well, I think Snoot has been dazzled by Elias's puffed chest, and it's just like there's little like stars in the eyes, like, oh, so masterful. And then realizes that everyone is waiting for them to take their rings. Oh, right, yes. Let us, Verde, take our gifts. And just sort of guides Verde over to the table, and he will take for himself tidings of comfort and armor.
Nice.
Are these like finger rings, or are they like big
I mean,
bangles?
They are your typical finger ring, or a party ring, but we'll go finger ring. But because they are magical, they do adapt to the wearer, so they will shrink or expand depending on where the ring is placed. I'm getting myself into a hole. Continue.
Great. Well, I, as an owlin, I have normal sized fingers, although small actually. So I suppose like gnome.
Do you have
fingers.
hands or do you have wings?
Both.
Oh,
Owlins have wings and hands.
nice bit of cheeky dexterity. Nice. Cute.
Because otherwise, how could I fly and longbow at the same time?
Shit. Nice. Very philosophical question.
Unless there's some Owlin rules that I've misread entirely.
No,
and I
there's
should
not.
I mean, surely Owlin are just a variety of Aarakocra.
Ooh,
Right.
But they can do so
Right.
much more. They have better something, but they're not as quick. They're not as because they don't get 50 foot of flight.
Yeah, they
30
get
foot of flight.
dark vision in a way that Aarakocras don't, I believe. Yeah, we're slower at flight.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yes, we'll grab the tidings of comfort and armor ring, place it on his finger, and then take the other ring, the remaining ring, the ghost of Winterfest future,
Nice.
and go to place it on. Go to look at Verde, who's just like, and go to place it on his finger, and then realize I need to make it clear this does not mean we are married. We are cousins. And then puts the ring on Verde's finger.
Right. I mean, if you did want to marry, we've got Mrs. Linseed in because she's done some blessing of some water for you lot. And if you did want to get married, it's certainly something that you can talk to her about.
No, that's very kind, but I as I said, we are cousins, and it's been made very clear to me that would be inappropriate.
Right, you are. And at the mention of Mrs. Linseed, you hear the sound of glass on board rattling. Now, I don't know if anyone has seen the Julie Walters Victoria Wood 2 Soup sketch. If you have not seen it, please Google it. It's amazing. But this very, very elderly human, wearing a robe and apron combo, kind of dodders her way in with 10 flasks on a tray. And this tray is going everywhere. The flasks are kind of rattling around. And she kind of, wrinkled and shakily, rocks up to you lot. Blessing of Lathander be upon you all. And the mayor, right, speaking of the vampire sort of thing, I have asked Mrs. Lindsay to bless some of this water for you. So if you need to, splash them, you can. And Mrs. Lindsay is kind of just there with the tray, which is rattling. And she kind of extends it to you, and the rattle gets more violent as her arms extend. That would be marvellous, thank you.
From her.
And she's standing there, just listening to the conversation. She doesn't need to be there anymore, but she's just standing, waiting to be dismissed.
You alright?
I'm marvellous, thank you. Right. Mrs. Linseed, you've been very good. Thank you very much, Mrs. Linseed. There's an awkward silence, and she kind of, right, you are, darling. And she turns very slowly and dodders her way back to a set of double doors, which maybe lead to a kitchen, it's hard to say. Toby, you have a tray of 10 vials of holy water. Right, well, I think that's all the gifts I'll be giving out today, but
That's very kind, thank you.
no, it's quite all right. I just hope you can find out what it is, put a stop to it, and maybe hope it doesn't happen again.
Elias, I think you are on mute.
Yep. That is our job. So that is what we will do.
Right. Well, best of luck to you. I mentioned the butchers and the bakers and not the candlestick makers because they're fine. But the butchers is right next to the bakers, which is right next to us. You would have seen it right next to the stables on your way in. And the graveyard is sort of just behind that. So, I mean, it's sort of easy going. I mean, you probably already saw that already. Yeah, I don't know why. Yes, Snoop. I don't know. Yes, I don't know your name. Secret agent. No, don't tell me what your name is. I'm not meant to know what your name is.
Okay, sorry, I forget I said anything. The candlestick makers, you said that they are fine. Have they done anything different to everyone else? Why are they fine?
So, I don't think that the candlestick makers have got any produce in their shop, which is probably why these little things just don't want to go there.
Vampires don't eat candles so much.
Not that I know of. I mean, we have tried to fend them off with various objects. Candles were not one of them, though, so we could maybe try that out. But, no, not the candlestick shop, no.
Various objects such as what?
Well, he rattles off a list of things like picture frames, stools, glassware, a lantern, unlit, some pythons, that sort of thing. If you think of the adventurer's equipment pack, basically, I think they found it in the Lost and Found and just threw everything from there. Now, I can't help but notice, I know that you lot are in a lot of danger a lot of the time. I can't help notice that the quiet one of you does not wear shoes. Now, we do have, in the Lost and Found box, an adequate selection of odd shoes, should they wish to, have shoes.
Volunteer just shrug and just kind of root through.
Cool. Do you want to roll a D100, please?
I absolutely will. Ooh. 2.
2. Nice. That's like the perfect number for shoes. You find a flip-flop and a stiletto.
I'll do.
Right.
And a stiletto. What colour?
Oh, Liz is not good at these types of shoes. You tell me, Nat.
I mean, well, name a color.
Oh. I think it's kind of an ombre between a blue and a pink. That it has been diamanted with ruby esque diamonds, but they're not real. They are not real. The flip-flops, similar color actually with that too. Similar color flip-flops. So they kind of match in hue. Height, not so much.
Yeah, Savonitai is kind of just leaning ever so slightly now.
So, you are armed with your rings. You are armed with your flasks of holy water.
Yeah, I'll pass out the flasks to people.
Cool. Are we going 2 each or something? 2 and then...
Don't trust Verde. I think if you go to offer any to Verde, Snoot's like, no, just no.
I think in that case, I would give 2 to everybody and go to Verde, and then no, I'll just keep those. So I would end up with 4.
Nice. The mayor he's going to bow deeply to you lot, knowing how good and how proficient you are, Nat, at these tasks. And he kind of sheepishly sits down in an armchair that's in the bottom left-hand corner of the room by the fire and kind of is just there hunkering, kind of trying to wait it out until it's done. Right, so I mean the door is the way out is the way you came in. If you just turn right round on the spot and keep on going, that will take you outside. Make a left. The bakery, the butchers, the candlestick makers. You don't need to go there. Right there, right?
Wonderful.
See you later on.
Right. The door kind of open. As you, I want to say in slow motion, walk out. But Savonitai, what do you look like in slow motion walking out the door?
Very limpy, wearing
Yes.
a flip-flop and a stiletto. Just like...
Nice. The music begins. What are you guys doing? How's it going, secret agents, at this time? Do you feel confident about the mission ahead?
Not at all.
Right.
Snoot is absolutely deferring to Elias, who has I know has done, the bare minimum to establish themselves as a leader, but Snoot looks to Elias to lead us.
No, they are 100% have tried to establish themselves as the leader. They just don't know what the hell they're doing. But they won't tell you that.
No.
Paladins for you.
Yeah, classic paladins. You make your way down. There's somewhat icy steps, but let's have a dex save just to see how that goes. Sean, at disadvantage, please, for Savonitai.
Joy.
Toppy, if you're flying, you tell me what happens. You don't have to fly. It's up to you.
With disadvantage, that's a 13.
Okay. That's better than the average score, which is 10. Okay. Savonitai, quite... It's as if you've worn these before. You make your way down the steps. All right. How about the rest of you?
26 for Snoot and 8 for Verde.
Oh gosh. Yes. A mixture of feather and scale, the new book by J.R. Martin, tumbles down the steps and lands headfirst in the snow, both of you. Elias.
Oh, that's a 20.
Oh.
I got my little. The problem is my dice is really hard to see, and I'm gonna just check on the other side. Yeah, it's a 20. It's a little dragon on the.
Well,
yeah.
perhaps good for Elias. A little dragon kind of tumbles past the really icy bit that you were gonna step on, so you step over that bit and do not fall face first in the snow. Toppy, how's it going? Are you flying down the stairs, or did you?
30-20.
Nice. You were gonna step again on that icy step, but you decided to fly instead. Because why wouldn't you? Amazing. Snoot and Verde, you get back up. Your face is a perfect indent in the crisp white snow beneath your feet. And to your left, you cannot help but see that there is a bakery. The lights are off, and the door is ajar. There are
How do you
noises.
get in if the door is ajar?
The noises. There are noises coming from within.
Right, so I would be. It would make sense to say this quietly, but that is not Elias.
No. Why would you do that?
Right, so we
Echoing.
we shall be entering. So whoever is in there, freeze.
Are you making your way towards the bakery, Elias, and are the rest of you following?
Yes, Elias is making it.
And
Amazing.
yes, following.
Are we
Flying
walking?
up, flying over a bit.
Great.
Are we walking past the butchers to get to the bakers, or is the bakers first?
The baker's is kind of first. The butcher's is to its left.
Cool.
But sorry,
Does the butchers look like it has anything going on?
there's nothing going on in the butcher's. Everything is quiet. Now, my next sentence, you can make out where the door is open. There's an odd substance in the snow, and it's not urine. Just to confirm, it is not yellow. It is white and powdery. You can see that it's flour that has kind of been scattered and is cascading out of the step that goes into the bakery, into the snow. The door that is ajar leads to the kitchen area, not to the front of house, front of shop. The storefront. You know what I mean. And there's a lot of clutter, Elias, you'd be first to see. It's trashed in here. The counters are kind of really kind of dirtied up. The shop area is accessed through an archway to your right. You can see like the counters and they look completely empty. There is flour all over the floor, and there are very small footprints, sort of tracked and scraped all the way through the flour. The sound that you heard outside was kind of rattling, but now that you're within, it sounds like something being eaten. And it's that I hate ASMR. I can't do it. But it is sound of the lip smacking and the crunching and chewing. Hate it. Hate
We
it.
shouldn't make that noise right now.
And you know, right, okay, sidetrack. We're going on a time. All I wanted when I was on YouTube was to find a video of someone playing Skyrim because the music's really pretty. And I just want to see them wandering around in Skyrim, just not talking. There's a guy that whispers his entire way through Skyrim, and I can't do it. Anyway, moving on. You can hear the sound of ASMR eating. Feel free to put that in, editors, if you wish. I will not listen to it. You're not sure what it is, but it's coming from that archway to the right, slightly around the corner, so you can't see the source of the gross ASMR noise. What would you like to do?
Whoever that is, you should stop eating.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage,
Oh.
please.
Well, I mean, both are pretty bad. I rolled a 6, but I also rolled a 2.
Hey, 6 is better than 2. Is that plus your modifier?
It is a 8 altogether.
Okay, that's a good-ish. You do not stop the sound of chewing. You add to it. Added to the sound of smacking and chewing is, you know what Verde sounds like. It almost sounds like Verde, the snarl that Verde like kind of constantly makes right now. Yeah, kind of that is added to the noise of chewing.
Verde? Well, you're here. How could you be there?
He kind of looks at you and does that head cock thing that dogs do. Huh?
Something very strange is going on here, Elias.
Yeah, I don't think that worked.
Also, they're incredibly rude and they're not listening, and therefore it is up to us to go and stop them. So Elias is going to clonk his way over.
Cool. So you're going to make your way to the right-hand side to where the noise is. Are you going through confidently? Are you trying to be stealthy? What's the vibe with Elias?
There is no attempt at stealth. I mean, even if there was, this glowing full plate armor is this heavy armor is not. It would not make it easy. So Elias does not attempt to go anywhere stealthily. It's very much boldly, and so that everyone can see them.
The rest of you watch as Elias makes their way forward. Do any of the rest of you follow, or are you just...
Probably follows, but it's nothing.
Okay.
And it's like keeping an eye out, but also being like, yeah, I'm not here. Just
Okay, is anyone else stealthing?
using the bravado as cover.
Yes. Do anyone else want to stealth? If so, roll a stealth check. Yes, Nat, do you have a question? Or was that a yes, I am stealthing?
I think so do you want to go ahead, Lola?
Oh, I can give a performance check to give everyone else advantage.
Go for it. Yes, let's go for a performance check, and then if everyone else wants to stealth at advantage, go for it. We'll see. We'll resolve the performance first, though.
That is a 15.
Okay. Yes, you're convinced, guys. So please make a stealth check with advantage. You know that you're stealthy, right? That's what counts.
I was gonna ask as well.
Yes.
I think could Snoot have been distracted as Elias started storming off? Could Snoot be stealthy because actually he's been distracted by the footprints in the snow and the flower, checking out what they are? So he's actually like just crouched down, being very still, looking at them.
I think Verde is snout down in the flower, getting it all up in there, sneezing.
Verde, what have I told you about that, Verde? Only on weekends.
Yes, that's fine. What were the stealth checks?
26.
Nice.
16. Yeah, that was my first roll. Didn't need the advantage, but thank you very much anyway.
Snoot and Verde?
Well, technically a 23 for stealth, but I was angling to turn it into an investigation check.
Okay, yes. Let's investigate. Let's investigate. Okay. Elias, we will return to you imminently.
I think my 16 is probably because of the heel.
Yes.
So an investigation, that would be, there's only a 12 on the footprints.
Okay. So, as Toby has managed to completely conceal himself in a large iron pan, and Savannah Tai has almost, as if silence were upon him, but then the heel let him down, hides on top of a counter. You see the footprints in the flower, the ones undisturbed by Verde. They are small, certainly. You'd say similar to your footprint size. Can you make a next check for me?
Sure. Rolling bad now. 11.
Okay. You know what Verde's footprints look like. These are similar, but with longer claws. And walking like Verde does, but when Verde's pretending to be a human.
Verde, are you sure you aren't in there? This is very concerning. Elias!
Elias, speaking of Elias, you are stomping loudly round the corner.
With bravado.
Obviously, yes. And I'm going to say there's a beaded curtain. There is a beaded curtain betwixt you and the front of house. Yes, that is exactly what happens. And as the beaded curtain is pulled apart, you look round to the source of this ASMR irritating noise, and you see, sat on the ground, facing away from you, looking towards the back of the counter, a small grotesque figure, lithe and sinewy. Jesus Christ. This creature, shirtless despite the cold, but I mean, you've got Savannah Ty in the group, you've got Toby, maybe that means nothing, is covered in scales, but between the individual scales you can see almost translucent skin, and they appear to be eating something. And
what are they eating?
They seem to be eating something, and that's the source of the gross ASMR sounds that you keep hearing. They are literally so focused on what they are eating, even with the noise, they haven't turned around.
Elias will grab their... I've got to check if it's a great axe or a warhammer. I think it's a war. No, it's a battle axe.
Oh.
Off their back and go, put that down.
As you say that, and as you are so close to it, the head snaps round immediately, and you see this snarling, wild, feral kobold face. Its eyes completely sort of almost glazed over with red veins, and very, very visible, especially as they hiss at you. You see these long needle-like fangs, elongated for a kobold, like they are long. It's eyeing you, warily, defensive. It looks like it's trying to make its mind up about something. What they are eating appears to be a cold Winterfest pudding. It's still in its little tiny hand as it regards you with these bulging white eyes, and it raises the pudding to its mouth and begins to eat it, just not taking its eyes off you the entire time. There's a large... Sorry, go for it.
Do you speak? Do I get any sense that the kobold understands what I'm saying?
Make an insight check for me, please. As you're doing that, I will also tell you the other thing you see. There is a large satchel full of items next to the kobold, and its little back leg is kind of reaching for the strap just to keep that by it.
That is a 4.
Okay, that's a number, Lola. That's certainly a number.
Yeah.
You don't you don't know.
I'm just going to assume that it does, and I'm like, no. And will. How close is the satchel and it to me right now?
So the kobold itself would be about 7 foot away from you. The satchel would be 5 foot away from you.
Okay, I'm going to put the bit of my... Can I even I'm going to put the butt of my battle axe on the handle of the satchel.
Okay, as you do that, a low growl comes from this thing's throat. It does drop the pudding, and it looks up at you, snarling. Elias,
there's something here that looks like Verde but isn't. Oh,
yeah. Anyone who is within this scene, can you please roll initiative for me? I say that. Hold on, don't do it just yet. I need to open up my screen.
Okay.
But I will be ominous in just a second, I promise.
Can't wait.
Please roll initiative for me.
11.
7. And I think that's because my battle axe is already engaged.
Snoot and Verde.
8.
8. Gosh.
15.
15. Yes, thank you, Savannah. With a 15, Savannah, you are first. Now, in terms of what's going on layout in front of you, you are at this point all through the beaded curtain, which is, I'm going to say in shreds at this point because it hasn't seen this many people through it in a long time. You are all able to fit behind the counter. I'm going to put you in a Marvel line. You've got about, your choice, 5 to 10 foot between you and the creature. Savannah, over to you. This creature is clearly feral. Although Elias couldn't really make out if it understood, it's certainly not friendly, and it looks like it's about to attack you all.
Savonitai will do what he is accustomed to doing with all enemies before, giving them no option but to receive the pain. Will telepathically just mind link with the creature, and we'll just go, "Hello, this is this is Savonitai speaking. I would just like to inform you that if you were to engage in us, we would be very likely to whoop your ass. So I would suggest that you stand down. Please just acknowledge whether you would like to continue with this endeavor."
I'm gonna. Do you need to roll for that? I'm gonna say make a persuasion check.
I'm literally just talking to you because I don't want to use my action to not hit you.
Okay. He's gonna just roll to see how he feels about that. You're quite observant, Savonitai. You don't spend a lot of time talking, you observe. That's the vibe Liz gets. Anyway, you can see that this creature acts on instinct. Now, this instinct that it is acting on, you're not 100% sure what that is, but you are in the way of it.
Okay.
That's the vibe that you would get from that exchange. It is still going to attack you. But
yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
In that case, Savonitai will acknowledge that this is an instinctual thing and may not necessarily be their choice. However, they are still going to need to be rendered unconscious. So I'm going to be trying to not kill it. Whether I get the last blow or not is, down to fate.
Yeah.
But from my vantage point of 10 foot away, I am going to reach into my into my pocket where I always keep some stones from the desert. I am going to cast Magic Stone.
Nice.
To imbue 3 of those pebbles with magic. And I'm then going to use my sling to fling them at its forehead.
Nice. Roll to sling.
I shall indeed. Don't think that one's going to do it. 13.
13, just under what you needed.
Okay. Oh, do I want to?
The stone kind of like rattles off the glass. It smashes into the glass that's behind him on the counter, goes right through it.
Yeah. At this point, I think I'm not going. I could spend key points to increase it, but I think at this point I'm just testing the water. I do have multi-attack, so will you allow me to fling a second of my?
Of course.
Grand. Even worse. That's 11. I think I'm just doing warning shots across the bow at this point. It's an 11.
Amazing. It's not really taking its eyes off Elias because Elias is right in front of it and is trying to take its satchel away. It doesn't seem to pay you any mind other than the weird head conversation it had with you, but it snaps back to Elias. Does that end your turn, Savonitai?
I will kind of come out of my hiding place and start kind of circling around to stop it being able to make a break out out the back of the shop.
Amazing. Your perception was 15. Your passive perception.
Passive perception is 15. Yeah.
15. As you kind of circle around, I'm circling you round the counter. Halfway up, there's glass. You can see the entire scene. But behind you, you do notice that there are quite a few small figures, shadows, kind of running away towards where the graveyard was. But on your turn, that's all you would really see. If that ends your turns, we move on over to Tobas, followed by Snoot and Verde.
Cool. Yeah, I think Toby is just gonna have a go at this new ring.
Yes.
New thing to play with.
I forgot to tell you about one of the very specific things you need to do with these rings to activate them. You need to say You need to say 5 gold rings very loudly for it to work. That's all. That's my only request.
Cool. So how close can I stealthing still get like around this kobold to blink it?
Yeah, especially with your flight. So you would theoretically be able to move Now, Elias, though not very tall, is very shiny. This thing is very focused. So, for the purpose of this, yes, you can move to where you need to be.
Great. Cool. I want to get on the other side of it
Mhm.
and then like step out of the shadow and 5 gold rings.
That's what I
and-
wanted. I'm very
Yeah.
happy.
Oh, you might.
Yes.
That's a 1. So I cast a fireball at it.
Oh, boy. Okay.
We're all right there.
Which, as the ring casts a fireball,
Mm.
I'm a little disappointed because I can do that already.
Aw. But you did it for free.
Yeah. So
So we all make decks.
yeah, 20-foot radius sphere around the kobold.
Hmm.
Everyone make a dex save.
No, it's going well.
Hang on.
Unless you position it.
I'm trying to remember what. No. I'm being a sorcerer. I was trying to remember what meta magic I had, and I don't have careful spell.
No damn. Okay. Do you when you say you were flanking, that implies melee, but you weren't doing a melee thing. Are you flanking as in right next to the kobold?
No. I'm aware that all of the things bar one really in this ring are ranged. So I'm maybe like 20. I'm.
Do you want to make an Arcana check just to see if you're going to encapsulate? That's a fun word. Your
Yeah.
friends or just the creature that you're aiming at?
That's not.
Very quick rules question. Am I still at disadvantage because I'm wearing half a heal?
15 disadvantage. No. 15. You're able to place it where you need it to be. Elias, all that will affect you is simply visual, so you may get some toasted eyebrows. Yep. It needs to make a dex save. It's me. I need to do something. Okay. I have got a 12.
That's.
It will use your.
I mean, it uses my stats presumably, so yeah, that's not going to do it.
If I'm in the radius, I've got a 14.
You're not in the radius. You're okay.
Which means that's a lot of ones. 21 points damage.
21 points of damage. This thing does seem to light up fairly quickly. Now, we are in a building full of flour. I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, there's a bit of popping going on within. You're not quite sure where. But the kobold certainly looks a little fried and was not expecting that from behind. Elias, I want to roll. I would like you to please roll for me a d10.
How much eyebrow do I lose?
Yes.
Is that the situation? Okay.
What you get is a percentage of eyebrows you have left.
Oh, okay, good, because that's a 9.
90% of your eyebrows. Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's good. That's cool. Amazing.
And they were very bushy, so it looks like probably they just got a little bit of a trim around.
But it smells awful. It smells gross. Toby, anything else on your go that you would like to do?
Oh no, actually, hang on. No, I'm good.
Cool. Snoot and Verde, over to you.
Yes. Did I also hear the rustling of other creatures running away outside?
You would have done, yes. You may not have seen it, but you certainly kind of got the impression there was stuff going on outside.
Great. And how rough is this kobold looking right now?
You would say that out of its total HP, you are just... It's just over halfway. Just over halfway.
This is a hench kobold.
I mean, she's
Just like
she's
casual,
eating, she's hungry. She's putting on the pounds.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's cold. Jesus.
I think. So I was picturing that Snoot had made it, and Snoot and Verde had sort of made it just through the curtain into the room, so they're like burst in just as combat started. So I'm kind of by the entrance.
Yeah.
So I don't know what range I have to be at with my longbow to be at normal range.
For the purpose of this, you're not. But for the purpose of this, don't worry about it. It's
Okay,
fine.
fine.
Shoot your damn bow.
Okay. But I think what he's going to do first, as my bonus action, I'm going to instruct Verde.
Verde, grab that bag.
Verde's currently getting very intimate with the beaded curtain, but will certainly make his way to the bag. Yep.
Yeah. So he will go immediately after my turn, and I'm going to. I would like to be sort of flying back down the corridor out the door, but as I do, fire an arrow.
Nice.
With my longbow, which again, like Snoot has to kind of do a full body to get it. it's so big. That is a 28 to hit.
Oof. Yes, that oddly beats its AC by double. Yes.
I have 2 attacks, so I'll roll the second one as well. That's 23 as well as the second
23. One. Yes, certainly hits.
Great. So that's going to be 2d8 plus 8. So it's 3, 4, 7. 7 plus 8 is 15 points of damage. And I'm going to... Verde is going to use his reaction to infuse those strikes with 4 acid damage. So that's 19 total, 4 of which is acid.
Acid damage. Nice.
As I'm flying out the door.
Yeah, the arrows so perfectly struck actually hit the beaded curtain, and they go with the arrow and kind of vroom, vroom into the shoulders of this creature, and the bits of beaded curtain just sort of dangle from the wounds where they've entered. If that ends your turn as you're flying backwards, Elias, over to you.
Sorry, does Verde get to grab the...
Oh, excuse me.
Specifically given him the instruction to try and grab the bag.
Now, there's currently a battle axe on the bag.
Yeah, Elias was kind of stopping the creature from grabbing it.
But I would like...
if it's about to be my turn, if Verde is gonna...
I think Verde should make a strength check, just to see.
Sure.
See how it's going.
That is +3.
Come on, Verde.
Oh, baby. He rolled an 11.
Okay. Verde's having a struggle, but Elias, it's your turn. I'm assuming at the start of your turn, you raise your battle axe and Verde kind of barrel rolls backwards out of the beaded curtain. Yeah. Elias, over to you.
Absolutely. So, Elias is going to... I warned you, and will raise the battle axe and attempt to attack.
Okay, roll to hit and roll to hit.
Oh, are we flanking this creature, or is it just me at the front?
I'm going to say it's just you at the front because Tommy's further back.
And Savantai?
Savantai had moved around the counter.
Right, but not melee.
I don't think you'd got the entire way.
Okay. Well, that's a 21
Yes.
to hit. And we are doing this with one hand, so... Remembering what D8s look like. 6.
Okay.
Second attack.
Yep, roll to hit.
That is only an 11, so that does not
okay.
hit.
So the axe is lifted, Verde barrel rolls backwards with the bag, which is quite hefty. There's a lot going on in that bag, but we'll get to that in a second. You lift, and the axe kind of clocks him under the chin, and then you attack, but you are expecting something a little higher as this thing ducks out of the way. Elias, anything else on your turn?
I'm generally used to being like Elias is generally used to creatures or enemies or people that they have to put to rights being much taller than that.
Yes,
So-
exactly.
No,
Okay.
not at this point.
At the end of your turn, you see this little kobold vampire little cutie. That's what I've named it on D&D Beyond. It is pretty beat up at this point. It does not have a lot of health left. But you see where the wounds are. The skin is beginning to knit itself back together again. The arrows kind of fall out one by one. It doesn't gain much, but it gains some. Merry Christmas. It is its go. It is going to... Let's see, can it do this yet? No. It's going to try and bite the nearest thing to it. Guess what that is, Elias? It's you. Let's see if it hits. I have got the first hit, which is a 20 non-natural.
Yes, my armor class is only 18.
Okay, second is 17, so the 17 does not hit. There's 2 bits of damage coming your way. The first is the piercing damage, as maybe those fangs kind of get round into one of the areas that your armor does not cover. After that, there's some necrotic damage coming. I will roll that here. Piercing damage 7.
Okay.
Necrotic damage is a couple of d4s. Uh, 8 points of necrotic damage. As you take this necrotic damage, Elias, you actually feel your life force draining with it. Your total HP maximum is reduced by the amount just dealt to you.
Wait, by
8.
15? Okay.
By 8. That's the necrotic part.
Okay.
So whatever your HP is, it's now less than that. Does that take you down to 0? I'm assuming you have more than... Good. No reason why I asked. That ends its turn. It is looking for the bag. It wants to kind of rush past you, Elias, but it can't. There's not enough space for it to do it. Savannah Tai, your turn.
Mm-hmm. I think seeing how the pebbles didn't quite find their mark, is just going to approach into melee range. And as he walks, those of you who have kind of travelled with Sabonatai before will recognise he's starting to kind of tap into the power of of dreams that Kalashtar have access to, and white flames, kind of pure white, just race down to the ends of the quarterstaff. I'm casting Shillelagh, for those of you who want to know what's going on in a rules fashion.
Shalala.
And then I'm going to bop him on the head violently.
Nice.
But with intent not to kill.
Mm-hmm. Roll to bop. It's like the game Bop It, but with a kobold. That was such a good game. I was so good at that game.
That's a 19.
19 definitely hits. Roll your Bop It damage.
Max 13.
Tell us how you bop it.
It is literally just kind of he does a couple of kind of tests, I'm going to call them whittles because I can't think like the spins the staff, and then just as it kind of comes back round the third time, brings it down on top of her head. I think you said
her head. Yes,
her head off.
The kobold kind of gets knocked out, slumps to the ground. You are now out of combat.
And Sabonatai will just kind of almost goes to take another attack, realizes that the fight's over, and then just kind of lean on the staff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, you did notice, Sabonatai, that this thing does have a healing property. I'm just throwing a little DM, little help here. You've got some holy water if you wish to use it.
I will leave it to the group to decide, I think.
Okay.
I have no
Please
intent
be
to kill
the
it.
intelligent one.
I've got an intelligence of 10.
Oh no, that might be the most intelligent in the party.
That's average.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine is a 7, so...
What's Toby's?
14.
Okay.
Toby's the most intelligent.
No pressure, G.
Toby will take out one of the flasks. Here, do you think we should have used some of this? I'm going to try a thing. Hang on, and we'll pour some of it. Then take a swig.
There's a slight sizzle. As you take a swig, you get the impression that these have been kind of not tainted. They've been infused with lavender. It's a very odd taste sensation. But the kobold's wounds are not healing now. It is drenched in this running water. What are you guys doing?
Newt flew out the building to follow things.
Interesting. I guess I would have done that as well. I just didn't get the chance to.
Well, it's all right. I've got the extra water and that, so.
Right. Yes. Very good. Sorry. What were you saying?
Is that it? Is that the job? We done?
Oh no, not you.
Oh.
Sabonatai will kind of point at himself.
Snoot?
Snoot's not there.
Oh,
Snoot,
right.
Snoot flew out. Verde is having a chew on the bag, though.
Oh, okay.
For Verde's sake, Verde looks in the bag and it's full of baked goods.
Oh, he is working his way through them.
Yes.
Sabonatai will kind of point at Verde, point at the door, and then make a kind of wing motion with his hands, trying to indicate that Snoot has left. Liz, you said that I noticed the things as well. Were they more kobolds?
They appeared to be more kobolds, yes, moving through the shadows very quickly towards the graveyard.
In that case, Sabonatai will kind of open his mouth and inhale, which is the hallmark of him about to say some of his very few words, except in someone's head. And we'll just go, Toby, it's kobolds outside.
All right. Let's go and have a look then, eh? I will go out, and if I go out and see Snoot, if I can still.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll fly up to join him.
You both actually do see all the footprints in the snow that are leading towards the graveyard. I say the graveyard, there's a very sort of old crumbling well just outside the graveyard entrance. And the tracks seem to go all the way there and then just stop. But I think with that, we might take our break. We'll see you soon. And we are back. So, last we were here, I believe that our super secret agents were heading towards the graveyard. Now, I don't know how in tune you are with each other. I don't know how long you've been working as a team. This may be your first venture out together, but I like to think that you may be able to notice that Elias's demeanor is perhaps not as healthy. Yeah, I was going like vitality, but I couldn't think of like the word that would describe that. Healthy as normal. Elias, you feel also like you got the flu, I guess. You know, you feel like something's not right, like there's an illness coming in, sort of thing.
Right. Best be following Snoot.
Well, when I see everyone else, well, when Toby has come out, is everyone finished? Is the kobold dead?
Aye. It's no bother anymore. Don't worry.
Okay. I will kind of look down at the others coming out. Oh, Elias, you are not well. Allow me to help you. And goes to cast a spell and then suddenly sees the ring on his hand and goes, Verde!
Verde was enjoying the fruits of the kobold's labor.
He's not eating the kobold, is he?
No.
Okay.
No.
That has been a problem before. I mean, don't. Verde! Yeah. Do the thing with the ring.
Begins to try and eat the ring.
Then you've got to say, I've got rings.
You just accidentally cast shield on yourself.
No, it's fine. You have to have the intention of. It's fine. We'll say it works somehow through this link that you and Verde have. Sure, Christmas spirit is strong amongst all of us.
Well, I was going to say, Liz, if Verde initially looks at Snoot like that, Snoot will go,
Oh, fine. I'll talk in the secret language that we're not supposed to speak to each other in front of other people. But I think you need to know that you need to say, and then I'm going to switch to Draconic. 5 gold rings.
He kind of stands straight. And what is cast from the spell now?
Liz, before I say that, you need to know that you cut out.
Yeah.
Because of
Did I?
But the animated performance you gave was beautiful.
Listen, that's what I'm here for. Verde says 5 gold rings, but a lot of snarling. And now, what happens?
So he has the Ghost of Winter Fest Future ring. So he casts. So a healing spirit appears. Does it? I don't know. What does it look like?
You tell me.
Oh, great. Okay. In that case, I think it looks like the dragon that Verde wants to be. Maybe will be one day when he grows up and is a majestic, large acid dragon, powerful wings, spread and flap, and then it just kind of goes at all of us.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
We all get 10 temporary HP.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Cool. You are all vomited upon and feel the benefits.
Little acid cleanse.
Gets right into those pores.
Are you still not well, Elijah? Would you like some more assistance? I can assist you further.
Elijah.
Elias.
I like Elijah. Chained
Elijah's
it.
the one that Tom was playing in a different campaign not too long ago.
I feel like I've had a ginger shot. It has very much bolstered me. However, I do still feel a bit peaky. But I think that shall be for another time. We must onwards before we lose them.
It's too late. Cure wounds.
Okay. It's not gonna help.
Oh, is it not going to help?
No.
No, because you got temp HP though, so that won't count towards the HP total you had.
So, cure wounds is going to help the damage that I took. It's not going to restore my max HP.
Yeah, so, but you still heal a little bit, right?
Still take some though, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Take 10. extra
Amazing.
HP.
I can't take that much, but yeah.
Glad
So-
I only cast it at first level.
I'm going to ask a question. When Snoop casts Cure Wounds, what does it look like?
I think because again it's just so like quick and panicky and flustered. It's just his hand just kind of delicately slaps Elias,
Oh,
and it's like a little feathery, like magical spectral feathers just all over you.
nice. Elias / Elijah, you are befeathered but happy about it. It's fine. So you find yourselves looking at what could be hundreds of tiny little footprints in the frosty crisp snow, heading towards what looks like the kind of ramshackle well that is about 30 foot away from the entrance to the graveyard. Those of you who kind of spotted the figures before, you don't see them now, but they were certainly going that direction.
I mean, we definitely defeated it, right? But one was pretty tough. If we think there are hundreds of them, what are we going to do?
We shall defeat them.
Maybe just tell somebody else. But we should go and have a look, eh?
I propose that at some point we might need to negotiate.
I mean, that one didn't want to negotiate much. I don't think.
If there are a lot of them, we might have a problem. Did you see where they went, first of all?
That way?
Do we want to be on their home turf?
Were you thinking we could like draw them out somehow?
Perhaps. Does it look like if we go a bit closer to the
My brave super secret agents, yes, if you go a bit closer to the well.
brave.
Yes. Tiptoeing. Passionately.
Well, not
towards the well.
tiptoeing.
Mm.
Elias is just walking.
Stomping.
Elias cannot do the stuff.
Sorry, what was your question? I interrupted you.
Does it look like they're possibly hiding there? Can I make a...
You can make a perception check if you wish.
Oh god, it's probably going to be bad. It's a 13.
13? It's not bad. It's good enough to know that you are not surrounded by them. They are not hiding anywhere near you. You don't hear those sounds like you heard before. Though you do smell something with that check. And what you smell is pretty awful. And what you can glean from your nose following the smell is that it is coming from the well. There do seem to be crumbs scattered around the base and bits of cast off food. But that's not the smell that you're smelling. You're smelling something else.
What am I smelling?
Oh, make a check of some variety. Hold the line, caller. Please make a nature check or a medicine check.
Okay. Medicine is marginally better in that I don't have any minuses to it.
Hey.
It's a 6.
You are rolling amazingly, Elias. 6.
So good.
That smell is not nice, that's what you know. It's not nice. You've never smelt it before.
Right. I smell a thing, but I don't know what it is, but it's bad.
Good. Well, okay. Maybe could we all try sniffing?
It's the well? I mean, probably don't get too close.
Can I have a check if I go and stick my head into the well? And...
Yes. Classic Toby.
I mean, I was going to suggest flying over the top to see if we could see down it, but you go straight ahead.
Straight on in. So you certainly begin to smell the smell the closer you get to the well. That rhymes. As your beaked visage goes over the edge, the smell is certainly very strong. I'm not going to paint this lightly. It smells like death. It does not smell like something is living.
Oh, pals, that's no good. That's not a good smell.
In addition, you can see there's light at the bottom. There's a glowing, as if there is a torch of some description down there. The light flickers like flame, and it lights up what seem to be very small eggs that are kind of stuck on the inside of the well as it goes down by, you estimate, about 50 foot. These eggs are what is creating this horrible smell. They are grotesque. I'm going to say maybe, Snoot, you have the closest affinity to the more draconic creatures in the world. You know what a dragon egg would look like. So if Snoot were to see, these are similar to dragon eggs, but they're kind of ghastly with a sort of thin film where the scale should be. They are red, and there are black veins kind of riddled through this film. They smell off. But hopping through the flame that's kind of casting its light through them, you can certainly see something within, something very small, just moving, sort of twitching a little bit.
Oh, there's I think they're like eggs down there. There's some, maybe? Not any eggs I've seen, but...
They kind of... let me have a look.
Snoot, you see these filmy eggs, but they look like they maybe were dragony at some point, but there's something wrong with them.
Oh, that's not good. No, they shouldn't look like that. That's definitely wrong. We should, I don't feel good about stopping them, but I don't know if they'll turn out nice.
Do we think that they are diseased?
Do I?
Make a medicine check.
Sure.
I mean, would you recognise the kind of look of the kobold that we just fought, perhaps?
Yeah. Would they
Yeah.
line up?
It's very, very similar. Very
Yeah.
similar. But let's see what your medicine check says.
16.
16. It's like the eggs are undead, and that would track with the undead kobold that you saw before.
Maybe we should try pouring some of the special water on it. See if that helps.
Oh, aye. Yeah. And we'll take some, and from the top, you said they're like attached to the side, right?
Yeah, kind of like
Try and get
splooged onto the
above
side.
one and just like pour it on one of them.
I'm not going to go into detail for any of the people here or the people listening, but it's kind of gross, sizzly, and the things are no more by the time you're done. No pain is felt, but these things are certainly no more.
Don't look Verde.
Verde is like really intent on like seeing what's happening, and you're like, no.
No.
But you have saved yourself from potentially quite a few jumping out at you if you were to go down. So good work, agents. Good work, agents, you hear in your brains. You seem to be getting on just fine.
You right?
You watched us.
I'm always watching, agents. Always watching.
You're the one that knows if we're sleeping or if we're awake.
No, that was on the missive that you read. You told me you could read.
it. I thought you said that.
That's the spirit, Snoot. Keep on going, agents. You're doing just fine.
Vonatai will kind of just like point down, thumbs up.
Aye.
How do you plan to scale the 50-foot
Well,
I jump down.
jump?
we have 50 foot of hempen rope.
Amazing. So we have 3 characters who would be able to make that descent unharmed. Elias, babes. So you've got your rope. We're going to be attaching that to something. Are you feeling dexterous? Do you want to try and tie a good knot?
Yes,
Go
I
for
will
it.
try.
Yes. Should we go for some...
help?
Yes, you may. How are you going to help, Snoot?
Well, Snoot's actually surprisingly good at survival and sleight of hand and that
Nice.
kind of stuff. So I think I again would not have gone down the well at all without Elias going first. So we'll be hanging around waiting nearby, just watching Elias tie the knot and be like, "That's really good. Oh, you know, I heard once maybe if you try this, then it would work even better."
Amazing. Elias, do you want to roll a sleight of hand check at advantage, please?
Sleight of hand.
Yes.
Yay!
Yep.
Yay! That's that is a natural 1 and a 9
9 is better than
plus
a 1.
2, so 11.
11. Okay, you've
So-
made a knot. Sean, were you
For a
going to say
second there, I
something?
did think the 9 was 6. So
Better.
it's like
It's better.
I was just going to ask what the full damage would be,
So
because I'm on the cusp.
of glory, of an invention.
I could reduce 25 of it, but I think potentially you could get up to 30 if you maxed out all the dice, if my maths is right.
I see what you mean. So it would be 5 times d6. So I will roll that.
I'm going to blame it on the stiletto.
can't you just do monk shit on the walls?
Yeah, but that's not as cool as literally just straight down.
Okay, you want to do a
Superhero landing.
superhero, yeah.
Yeah.
Vanatai's biggest concern is looking cool in front of these idiots.
The entire falling damage would be 20. So I think if you have 25, you're all kinds of good. But to be all kinds of good, Sonatai, I need you to tell me what it looks like when you snowfall. When you snowfall. Tell us what it looks like when you snowfall.
So Savanatai is very tied to the kind of plane of dreams. So there's almost clouds of just like ethereal clouds, almost kind of cushion his fall as he and it almost goes into slow-mo as he kind of just the clouds just clear away and he's just down there. It's not so much for this lot, but more for the people that are about to get smacked with a stick.
Nice. We will get to that bit in a second. Toby, how do you feel about Sonatai's slow fall? As a person who flies.
I think it looks quite cool. Just sort of. I think I'm at the top of the well, still watching. Oh, aye, not bad. I like all the clouds and that.
Nice. And as the clouds kind of dissipate, Elias, you've tied a knot. It seems sturdy.
Very good. Elias shall climb down it.
We are going to abseil. Are you going to jump in? Like, what's your techniques right now? How are you descending?
Well, it's possibly, given that the eggs are now no more.
Yes.
It's a combination of abseiling. So it's kind of a ugh, as a like the is because the boots are getting dirty.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of goop going on. Yes. You are able to descend a good 40 foot. That last 10 foot, though, that knot with that roll is coming loose. The last 10 feet that you will fall, unless anyone jumps in, I will need a dexterity saving throw, please, unless someone jumps in rapidly.
Oh, definitely would try and help.
I mean, that's a 19, so...
Okay, well, we'll
Like, I'm
combo
fine.
this... We'll combo
I'm
this
fine.
with the help. So, Snoot, how do you assist this dexterous language landing?
I think there's an immediate assumption that Elias is going to damage themselves and is sort of panicking, flying down quickly and sort of just kind of grasping and grabbling at whatever he can grab, like bits of your shoulder pads or your hair or anything. Just like
that 90% of eyebrow you're able to cling on to. Elias, you 3-point land, but like your head is lifted up by the eyebrow. Cushioning.
I got you, I saved you. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's 2 19s, so...
Nice. You are pretty much all, apart from Toby. I think you're all down the well.
I think I would have been at the top, kind of like, I'll stay up here and I'll keep an eye on the knot, and then leaning over watching.
Yes.
Like, aye, it's going great. Oh, here comes the rope. Aye. And then we'll
Nice.
fly down. Like, aye, you're already there. Go on we go. And then walk ahead of everyone.
Amazing. The rope kind of whittles down and you all find yourselves at the bottom of the well. Anyone who's looking, you would notice that there are a lot of scrabble marks, like claw marks, that were on the sides of the well on your way down, as if things were crawling up and down again very much. Anyway, you are in a tunnel and you see the source of the light is a torch. For those of you who are slightly challenged by height, they're at the right height for you. This torch is at the, a hand height. For the taller among you, it's quite low. Like it's gonna burn your knees if you walk too closely to it. Yeah.
Probably actually welcome, given that we've been treading through snow.
Correct.
But it's a very tall tunnel?
The tunnel itself is quite tall. It's not brick like the well was. This looks like it's been dug.
I'm gonna, because I don't have dark vision, I'm gonna take one of the torches.
Good plan, G. Good plan. You can now see. Welcome. The tunnel itself does stretch about 30 foot ahead and curves around slightly to the left. Are you doing anything in this moment? Are you going valiantly ahead? Are you being cautious? Are you having a chat? Like what's going on?
Silvonatai, did you perhaps need a bolster?
Oh.
The Bonatai will kind of think about it and then nod.
Okay. So I'm gonna lay on hands you for...
Oh, that kind of bolster.
Yeah. As in,
No,
didn't you just take 20 damage when you fell?
No, I slow fell.
Oh, right, okay.
We worked out the damage that
shit.
could have been taken.
Oh, okay, so you can cancel 25 damage, but not... Okay. Okay.
Thank you for the offer.
I like to think that, Elias, you got your hands ready. You're like, come on, love. And you're approaching Savannah with your hands. In quite an awkward moment in the tunnel. I enjoyed that.
Right. So it's like, oh, well, fine. It's just gonna turn it into a bless for everybody.
Oh. Are you casting bless?
Yes.
Amazing.
So just before we've left the
welly bit,
the well bit, like a beam of light, kind of, well, not just light, but like sparkles of sugar and like the scent of plums and sweet treats. Probably a bad idea, but it does improve the smell that we've come into.
It does.
It does quite a lot. Right. So,
as the essence of the sugar plum goblin is bestowed upon you all hear a very distant which is
it's
the
very
call of
convenient
the
that we
sugar
have
plum
more
fairy.
holy water because it requires a sprinkling of such.
Oh, that's nice. Another component use of the spell. The noise that you heard was the sugar plum fairy, just so you know. That was a noise that you probably heard.
Sugar plum goblin?
Goblin. Sorry, goblin. I made this deity.
Yeah, I know, right?
I should know this. Come on, Liz.
We think we also want to be sneaky here, or are we just going to Elias our way in?
Oh,
I mean, if it's named after me, then it must be good.
Okay, then I won't cast Pass Without Trace.
What were you going to say, Tubby?
That was just a reaction to the question.
Okay. Amazing. So, Eliasing your way down the tunnel.
Sorry, if everyone else wants to, they can.
No, you are our glorious leader, so what you say goes.
Elias gonna Elias.
Yep.
You make your way down the tunnel. You see that the tunnel, as it wraps round, there are more torches, again, sort of knee height. It eventually begins to open up wider, and you all begin to hear noises echoing, like they're in a very large space. Again, very similar to Verde's noises, but many of them. But you also hear like a kind of piercing screech, as if someone has got a stringed instrument, like a cello, and is running their finger down one of the strings, but the high string, not the low string. That is what you begin to hear. Are you still Eliasing?
Sure, but like, I guess at the if this music is pretty loud, then and discordant, then I imagine that even just stepping boldly is still somewhat disguised.
So it's not specifically music that you hear, it's the screech that sounds like a string is being scratched down.
Right.
But it's coming certainly from something beyond.
That is the kind of noise of like the creatures, so it's like the noise that's actually happening to us, or do we think that they're putting on a play and trying to make things spooky, so they're making that noise to make it spooky?
I mean, maybe they're big theatre fans. Who knows?
Possible.
Very possible. I believe we should power through and investigate.
Nice.
Aye.
Elias leading, you all follow.
Elias also can't see.
And also don't have dark vision.
Yeah.
So I like to think Elias is like powering ahead, and then you're like, oh god, I can't see. And then Tubby kind of rocks up, you're like, oh, I can see.
Oh wait,
and then
no,
you
I
keep on
do.
going.
Sorry, I do have dark vision.
I thought gnomes did. I don't. I'm sticking next to Toby.
I have dark vision.
I was going to say, Earl must do.
Yeah, I've got 120 feet of dark vision, but Snoot's not going to go in front unless he's told.
It would absolutely be an Elias thing just to stride into the dark, though. So.
I mean, the torches do kind of continue, but for the purpose of this, I'm going to say they don't, and all of this has just transpired. I love it. Elias, first to see, with your dark vision, which we have now established you have, as this tunnel finally opens up, you find that you are looking at a very large, huge, grotesque cavern. Within this cavern, you see many kobolds, similar to the one that you've seen previously, except some of them have wings and they are hanging upside down from the cavern ceiling. It's about 50 foot up, you estimate. And in the center of this very large cavern is a very, very large kobold, again on the ceiling, hanging upside down. And beneath this very, very large kobold, similar in appearance with the sinewy skin and grossness, is a very, very large food pile. The food pile is kind of peaked. It's kind of within an indent in the floor of this cavern. Perhaps there was a large pond there once, but now contains all this food. The food, most of which is rotting, is piled high. And you see this very large winged kobold monstrosity reach down with a clawed hind leg, pick up what looks like a cooked turkey. The hind leg kind of stretches up to its distended jaws and it begins to eat, demolishing part of this turkey. You hear displeased growls and again that screech, that kind of ripping down strings. The cooked turkey that was in its grasp is flung to the side of the cavern, and you see the smaller kobolds kind of scattering. Then they begin to fight over the leftovers that have been cast away. They all hiss loudly at one another. In this space, you see that there are stalagmites sort of 20 foot away from you, roughly, to the left and to the right. Stalagmites are the ones on the floor, I hope. And there are also, there's like a ring of them dotted around the pile of food to keep it all within. There are also clusters of these undead eggs, kind of leathery and attached, gooped onto the side of the stalagmites. You do see movement in these as well. There are similar stalactites hanging from above, which also have clusters of eggs. The other kobolds in this space, they seem to covet the giant in the center. They kind of fly up to it with food offerings, only to be dismissed with a screech and a snap of its jaws as they kind of recoil. No one has seen you yet, which is surprising considering you're Eliasing. What are you doing? I need to know what's going on in this moment with this super secret agent group. This band of highly trained, very skilled agents. What are you doing, guys?
I'm trying to stop Verde from rushing into the big food pile.
Oh, Verde's very interested.
No.
So,
Grumbling.
so we're just going to tell him, persuade him to give all the food back. Was that what you were saying before?
No, I was suggesting that we negotiate a fair acquittal of food so that they don't feel like they have to steal some.
I mean, I feel like if that, like, they got to a point quite a while ago that they didn't have to steal anymore. I mean, look at that pile of food, you know.
Yeah. There are quite a lot more bigger than I imagined, thought.
Aye, me too.
But that's okay. You're the great Elias Dornborough. It'll be all right.
Pine's not Dornborough, but yes.
Sorry.
Elias Pine's not Dornborough.
Sorry.
You know what? No, you know what? Elias isn't intelligent enough to have this thought.
Someone needs to, or we're not going anywhere.
It's just like, how about
I literally cannot wait to see what happens. Like I am on the edge of my what's going to happen, Elias slash Elijah.
Elias
What we doing?
Elias is wasn't thinking, but someone may be thinking, maybe we go back up and like try and collapse the where this tunnel that is onto them, so we just have to take out the stragglers as opposed to all of them. But Elias is not thinking that because that is an intelligent thought.
So what's Elias going to do instead?
Elias is going to be, well, with the blessing of the Sugar Plum Goblin, we can take them all.
Okay.
Do you reckon? I mean, like we're in a big hole in the ground, right? Except it's not a hole because there's a roof. But what if there wasn't a roof because the roof was in the hole? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Elias needs to make an intelligence saving throw at that point. Let's see if we break Elias.
You know what? It was a 17.
Hey, yeah,
minus 2, so it's a 15.
You get what Toby means.
Yeah. Huh. That is a very interesting possible. That sounds. How do we do that?
I mean, I can do a thing like that, like we'll shatter stuff. But I don't know if it'd be better if I did it from down here or from up there. Tell you what, why don't we just go back to like the entrance to that wee tunnel, and I'll do it and then we'll run.
As you're having this conversation, you notice things have gone very quiet all around you as you're focused entirely on each other. You turn around and see lots of little eyes and one pair of very big eyes looking at you hungrily. To your left and to your right on the ceiling, the eggs begin to squelch open.
I don't suppose you guys don't want to just give all that food back and just call it a day, aye?
As you say that, I'm going to call her the mama because that's what she is. She's hanging off the center of this cave. She kind of dislodges herself as she's looking at you upside down. Her head's upside down. She kind of rectifies herself, and you see she's got these very little leathery wings that are holding up quite a big, bulky form. She roars, and you feel the vibration through the entire cavern. You feel it in your stomach, and the masses of kobolds, more than you can count, begin to swarm. One big swarm on the ground to your left, another big swarm on the ceiling to your right.
I cast shatter on the ceiling.
The mama is hovering just before you. You can certainly do that, but the moment you do, we're going to roll initiative. Cast shatter, please.
Okay. So I'm doing it at 3rd level. Blah, blah, blah. So it's a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point. That is sort of the middle of the ceiling, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be above Big Mama's noggin.
Yeah. So each creature in that 10-foot radius must make a con saving throw.
Great. Let's see. She rolled. Let me get her stat block up. So you can call encounters things on D&D Beyond, and I've called this well. I found it amusing.
I like
Let's con save.
Yeah.
7 plus 8 is a number.
That's 15, which is what the save is.
Meets beats. So I'm thinking there's still going to be some damage, but it's going to be halved. Is that how that shatter works?
Creature takes... Yes, it's halved.
And we will do that damage. The building can't save against that, so the building's going to take the full whack of damage.
Yeah. Oh no, okay. The creatures are not made of inorganic material, are they?
Sadly, no, but the building... Oh no, the building's still organic.
19 points of damage.
19. So that would be total. She's going to take half, so that's 10.
Yeah.
The roof does take that damage. Can you roll for me 2d10? Tell me what the numbers are individually.
So that's a 7.
Mhm.
And a 9.
9. There are 7 sections of the roof within that 10-foot radius that have been dislodged as a result of shatter. They each fall, and in total from that, she's going to take 18 points of damage on top. Okay.
Amazing.
So in total, she's taken 38 points of damage. Combat is beginning, guys. Could you all roll initiative for me, please?
$16 for me.
Amazing.
Ooh. 23.
23. Nice.
Swift 9.
59. 59?
What? 9.
I was
Swift
gonna say.
9.
I rolled an initiative of 59. Elias, what did you... Elias Pinesap Dawnborough, can you please... 7.
It's literally what I rolled last time.
Amazing.
No, I rolled 5. I rolled a 5 on the dice this time.
So it's Big Mama's turn. And she's feeling a little... She's not enjoying the food that she's been eating. She's feeling a bit acidy. But it's not acid that she's going to be emanating shortly. There's been a theme of vomit, and I apologise in this game. That wasn't the intention. But
Sorry.
she is going to be emanating a 15-foot cone worth of very foul-smelling necrotic energy. Can you all, as she flies towards you all, you're all there on the ground or slightly flying, make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Constitution?
Yes.
16.
That is a sloppy 20 for me.
Nice.
That is a 13 for Snoot and a 6 for Verde.
Oh no.
Very well.
21.
21. So sadly, Snoot and Verde did fail the save. The rest of you succeeded. On a failed save, you're going to take some necrotic damage. Okay. On a success, you take half as much damage. On a fail, there's also an additional effect. I'm just going to roll that damage, and we'll see what happens. $14 points of necrotic damage to everyone.
Bye, temp HP.
That's hard for those who saved. So 7 points.
Did you all roll your
for
best
saves.
dice? I mean, did you roll your blessed die?
Oh, yeah, you have bless.
So added to the. I mean, I don't think it would have
D4.
affected.
I think Snoot and Verde may.
I think it was
Well,
So Snoot and Verde take the full 14. The rest of you take 7 points of damage. That's the damage dealt. That's necrotic. You feel this horrid kind of burp wave kind of go across you. Snoot and Verde, on the other hand, I'll tell you what the mechanic is. You cannot regain HP for 1 minute.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. The mama, she kind of circles round. She was 15 foot away from you. She's got 15 foot more of movement. She's circling round, kind of whipping the swarms into a frenzy as she kind of screeches up in the air, but you see the ceilings kind of shuddering as she's screeching. That ends her turn. Toby, it's over to you.
Cool. So they're all. How high is the ceiling in here?
Ceiling is 50 foot. She was 15 foot away from you, but then she's gone straight up again, so she's near the top of the ceiling.
Okay. So I'm gonna take off. I get about 25 feet into the air.
Cool.
Yeah, about that. And I am going to cast. I am gonna. Oh, actually, yes, I can do that as well. Hang on. So first of all, I'm gonna pull my crossbow off of the belt it's hooked onto, and take a shot.
Nice.
Action, which is 21 to hit.
Are you hitting the big mama?
Yes, sorry, at the Big Mama.
Sorry, you hit.
Cool. Before I roll the damage, as that's flying through the air, the like feathers on either side of my head sort of like boof out a bit more, and kind of I'll sort of like ruffle a bit in the wind almost, but there's no wind. As my meta magic quickens a spell, and as the arrow flies through the air, a chromatic orb forms around the arrow, which is only a 14 to hit, annoyingly.
14 sadly does not beat the AC. Does chromatic orb do any half damage? Or is it just a case of to hit?
No, it's just it's an attack.
So it looks pretty. It joins up with the arrow, but it just kind of falls off and veers away just at the last minute.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. So that's just at least that's full. 11 points of damage from the arrow.
Amazing. Big Mama kind of takes the arrow. Doesn't do quite as much damage as you would hope, but certainly takes some.
Sorry, just a sec.
Yes.
I have what's the thing? Sorry, there's a sorcerer thing I'm sure I can do. Yes, magical guidance. When I make an ability check that fails, I can spend a sorcery point to re-roll the d20.
Nice.
That's not much better. That is a 16 to hit.
Oh, that was just under what you needed. Damn.
All right, never mind.
It looks really pretty, not gonna lie. It looks gorgeous, but sadly the damage doesn't take.
Looks like it does lots of damage and doesn't.
Yeah. Like Mama saw her life flash before her eye, her undead life she saw flash before her eyes, but then she's like, oh no, it's fine. It's alright, it just looks nice. If that ends your go, Toby, we're gonna move on over to the vampiric kobolds who are swarming and flying. Now Thomas, you've just fired at their mama, so they're going to be going for you.
Okay.
They flutter over these hundreds of wings to your space, and they are all around you. All you can hear are their screeches, all you can smell is them, which is not nice. They will be biting you. There's quite a few bites kind of throughout this, but I'm putting them into one, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if they hit. I have got a 19 on the dice.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. They are at full HP, so you're going to be taking the full whack of damage. And I'll roll that on D&D Beyond. You are very lucky. I rolled a lot of ones. So the piercing damage that you take in total is 9.
Right.
There's some necrotic damage coming along your way as well. With these guys, you're not getting your HP reduced.
Okay.
But you take 13 points of necrotic damage.
So 9 and 13.
Correct, so 22.
Oof. Okay.
They kind of swarm around Thomas, and you see sort of parts of Thomas sort of just getting ripped to shreds, literally, as they kind of swarm around him like a piranha.
They like plucking the feathers out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there's like bald patches.
That's all that they can move. We are going to move on over to Savanatai.
So these things have just swarmed around Toby.
Yeah.
How many would I be able to get in a 20-foot cube?
Let's have a look.
I might said cube be able to encapsulate Mama. If not, just the swarms is fine.
The swarm is kind of just the side of Mama. They moved to Tobias. They moved to Toby. Oh, I wanted to call you Tobias, which is quite nice. The swarm is considered medium, but I'm putting it as a bit of a hefty medium. So 10 foot by 10 foot is their area. Mama is bigger than that, but she's away from them. So you could get them all. You would also get Tobby if the spell impacts everything in an area because they're in Tobby's space.
They're all yeah.
Big Mama is living her life, her undead life, near the center and the top.
She also flew away, didn't she?
She did, yep.
Yeah, so not too much I can do about that. Okay. I'm going to do it anyway. I think. Did you say that there were swarms to the side, so I could go for a swarm that wasn't?
There are walking kobolds
Uh-huh.
to your left. The flying are kind of up in the air to the right.
Mm-hmm. I'll go for the walking kobolds. I am so. Savanatai kind of flourishes his staff again and will just kind of smack it into the ground, and the white flame springs out and spreads across the ground in the direction of the walking kobolds, where it explodes into it rinds them in fairy fire, basically.
Nice.
So can they make dexterity saving throws?
Yes, they can. Are you dexterous? You're okay. That is a 15 on the dex save.
My DC is 16.
So they cannot beat. So, tell us what fairy fire does.
Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in a bright white light, because I'm choosing it. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails the dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
Amazing. Is that a concentration spell? Do they re-roll the save at some point?
It is concentration. It is also the only spell I know, so...
Oh, that's nice. I like it. They are glowing like a Winterfest tree.
Fab.
I think they enjoy it. I think they quite like their moment in the light. But they certainly look hungry. Savannah, anything else?
Bonus action, I am going to touch another couple of stones to use my magic stone, so these stones also become outlined in bright white light.
Amazing. Are you firing them? Can you fire them yet, or is it just...
I cannot, because I use my action.
Savanatai fondles his stones, and as that happens, we move on over to the walking kobolds / dead. They are peckish, and they are going to be making their way across to you. On the ground, we've got Savanatai, Snoot and Verde, and Elias. I'm going to roll a d4, subtract 1, see who we're going to go for. Okay. Elijah, we're going for you.
It's alright, because Elijah's not here.
Elias, we're going to go for you.
Yeah.
They move surprisingly quickly as they scuttle, shrouded in this beautiful white light, which kind of reflects off your armor back at them. They kind of get towards you, but just with their little eyes closed. They are going to be biting you, and there will be some further damage on top if they hit.
Oh, fun. Please don't hit.
So I might have rolled a natural 20.
Oh, fun.
So I'm just going
Okay.
to see how bitey these bitey things again. I'll roll my dice. A lot of dice. You got some temp HP, right? You'll be fine.
No.
You'll be fine.
I don't. I can't heal. So.
I thought everyone else
You know
was
what? Better
fine
me
apart
No,
from
than
you
better
can
me
heal.
than Snoop. No,
You can-
as in they're necrotic bites, so they're necrotic damage I can't heal.
You can heal their necrotic damage.
Okay. Oh,
It's just the
sorry.
first
No,
one.
it just takes off my max HP.
The first one that you faced did, but this swarm, they
Right.
are kind of
Okay.
they're kind of nibbling. They're not as potent
Okay,
as the other one.
Good. Still. Ooh.
26 points of piercing damage. I'll do the necrotic damage on D&D because I don't have that many dice.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm.
You've got 18 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Your HP isn't reduced by that much. That's just damage that you take.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Elias just falls over in a clatter rather.
I bless.
I like to think that in Elias's mind, the Sugar Plum Goblin rocks up at this moment and offers you in your unconscious state just some Turkish delight as your head is... It's not helping you. She's just there trying to ply you with sweets.
Like
That ends...
pushing it against your face.
Yeah. That ends the kobold's turn. Snoot and Verde, over to you. You've just seen Elias KO. Like, what would you like to do?
This is so reminiscent of what happened last time I played this character, and I think Snoot, without helping it, is just immediately also going to go, Dad, Alliance! Again. And is going to panic.
Yes.
Verde, protect! So on Verde's turn, he will do a thing. I don't have healing word. Yeah, go on. I will waste a turn curing wounds and getting Elias back up. It's not a waste. It's not a waste.
Sorry.
You shouldn't have worded it that way.
This is a team. A team of agents who are... the synergy is everything in this team.
I do good damage. No. Team.
A strong feeling we're all going to be dead in half an hour, but okay.
Yes, I will cure wounds at 2nd level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 7 and 3 is 10, 13 total.
Nice.
Thank you very, very much.
You are on the floor. The Sugar Plum Goblin fades from your vision as your eyes open. Kobolds are still around you, but Snoot, it's still your go. What are you going to do?
I'm assuming because I'm specifically here touching Elias for cure wounds that I am now within
You're in swarm
opportunity
space.
attacks. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. So we'll just kind of stay huddled and rather than trying to fly away. And Verde is going to now.
Right.
Liz, you were very
Yes.
generous before
Oh, thanks.
in suggesting that Verde, who on his stat block does not suggest he has a bonus action. Would you say that would replace an action for that turn using the bonus action, or that he could have both?
Well, player characters have both.
Okay, great. In that case,
Verde is real, and if
Yes.
Verde dies, we riot, okay? So
Right.
Verde is going to get an action and a goddamn bonus action.
you are so generous.
I know. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
So I think
Interesting.
seeing Snoot's panic, Verde will again remember the thing that he managed to do before and grumble 5 gold rings. And activate that extra 10 HP. And now I know that Snoot and Verde will not get it themselves, but everyone else should, right? What was the range on it?
It's a 60-foot radius, so everyone
So
gets it.
everyone should be- Yeah, great.
Of your choice, obviously.
The kobolds. No,
Oh, Big
yeah.
Mama's feeling great.
So you will get another 10 HP, and then Verde is going to turn to one of the nearest kobolds.
There's this
and
mass of legs and wings and scales and
He's going to get stuck in and involved. Okay,
Stuck in?
so his bite attack is +6. Oh, Verde. This happened to me
Verde.
last time. That's a 12 to hit?
12 for the swamp is just what Verde needed.
Yes. Go, Verde. Okay, so there's not going to be a whole lot.
Don't put Verde down like that, Nat.
Okay, well that's 7 piercing damage plus
Mm-hmm.
generous DM, 1 acid damage.
I'm so generous, I astound myself. A whole 1 acid damage, that's the kicker. They didn't expect that. Yes, the kobolds, I like to think the Verde has jumped in, grabbed 2 or 3 in his teeth and flung them out, and they are no longer part of the swarm.
Just a proper ragdoll,
Yes, that
Like a little burp at
exactly.
the end.
Does that end Verde's turn?
Yes.
Amazing. On the floor, Elias. Do you use half your movement to stand up? You're within the kobold space. You may hit them while you're there if you wish.
Lying down.
Disadvantage.
Oh yeah, you can
Sure.
lie down, but that'll be a disadvantage technically.
So.
Yeah.
How tall are they?
Not very, but I mean, you're a gnome. They
No,
are
but
shorter
how
than
tall
you.
are they? with whilst I'm lying on the floor.
Yeah.
How tall are they?
Well, they're
But-
like hatchlings, I guess. But
okay.
with you on the floor, they're still taller than your head, if that makes sense.
Okay. So if I was to cast Moonbeam, like
Moonbeam.
above myself, but
Yeah.
not like actually touching it, so that I just crawled like out from underneath it, but it would still get their heads because they're above my heads.
I like where we're going. Yes.
Like,
Do they need to make?
ooh.
Do they need to make?
Yes,
a dex
they
save?
do. They do. It's not a dex save; it's a Constitution save. My con isn't super high, but my save isn't super high. But
When a creature enters this area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, so
Yeah,
on
so
their
it's-
turn something will happen.
yes,
Can you remind me about that? Because I'm gonna forget.
Will
I
do.
don't know. I know what
Will
I'm
do.
like. Cool. So the con save that they rolled was a 9. They have no modifier to my roll.
okay, good.
As a group,
knowledge.
they're not very conny. That was your moonbeam. Do you wish to do anything else?
I guess I still have a bonus action.
Yeah.
Can I bonus action crawl the fuck out of here? Crawl the fuck out of this movie thing.
Sadly, no.
No,
But you do
yeah.
still have movement, so you can still crawl.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Like, I just want to be out of the sphere of the movie. Actually, maybe that's a bad idea in terms of opportunity. If I'm crawling to leave their radius, can I? Would I be leaving their radius if I crawl
Yes.
away from?
Well, no. Okay. If we think squares in D&D,
5
you
foot
can move to the
radius.
square next to them, so you can be out of the moonbeam and you
Yeah.
be not out of their range.
Cool. And then I guess I will stand up.
You all feel resolved as Elias stands. I like to think this is when the dramatic music starts, right? Yeah.
It's like, and this like beam of light somehow like shoots from the ground. It stops above Elias, but it's got these motes of sugary fluff in it.
It smells like cotton
and-
candy.
Yes, and it's like, oh, much needed. Oh,
Amazing.
So glorious.
At this point, G, can you just roll me a D100, please? No, 2D10s, please.
That's a 4 and a 5.
4 sections of the ceiling come down onto Big Mama. She takes a further 10 points of damage, force damage, from the falling ceiling. You notice that a gravestone has fallen on her head. You don't know where that came from. It's
there are
now.
no bodies.
I'm not getting into that. It's now Big Mama's turn. Maybe she'll be sated. I don't know. Anyway, she is not happy. She is going to be flying her way. I think. Let's roll a d4. She's hungry. She doesn't care who she goes towards. It's going to be Savannah coming your way. This hulking form with little tiny wings. She's making her way towards you. She makes 2 claw attacks and 1 bite attack. A claw attack is a natural 1.
That's not going to do it.
It's not going to hit. I'll roll the 2 bite attacks at once. I have got 25 on the first bite and 12 on the second.
Well, it's not going to do it, but the 25 will hit. As it hits, Savonatai will utter, only for the second time today, 5 gold rings. And I'm using the my reaction to...
Shield.
No, I've got the deal damage
Ah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to do half of it back.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that is. We'll do it in the total, but 13 piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be 20 necrotic damage, so 33 in total. Half of that goes back to her. The necrotic damage that you took, your HP is reducing by total.
Okay.
So she's going to take some damage here. Sean, can you tell us what it looks like as it's deflected back onto her? Make it Christmassy. Make it festive.
So, as Savanatai utters these words, suddenly springing forth from the ring, the cap just going boink, and then somehow expanding out of nowhere, a Jack in the Box just and
Nice.
absolutely just socks her around the face.
Yeah, like one of her fangs kind of snaps as she gets socked around the face. She kind of looks dazed in that moment. Nice. That ends her turn. Toby, over to you. Big Mama not looking hot right now.
Sorry?
Big Mama's not looking hot right now.
Okay.
She's looking tired.
Can I bonus action throw some holy water at the swarm of stuff around me so that I can get away from them without using without an attack of opportunity?
I will say, if you could make some form of either performance or deception, you could do that as a free action.
All right, okay. That's 10.
Let's contest it. Let's see how. That's another natural one on my part. Okay. Yes. You are in full-on sprinkler mode.
Cool.
You may, as a free action, sprinkle the kobolds and get away from them.
Cool. I will then
They hiss
fly.
as it hits them.
Yeah. I will then fly I'll fly towards Big Mama.
Mm-hmm. It looks like her wounds are kind of repairing, but she's still not looking that great.
Right, what angle am I coming at from?
What angle do you want to come from?
I guess I'm gonna come down and with the flask of holy water still in my hand, get that like right in the middle of her back probably.
Nice.
And I will cast Shatter on it.
Ooh, pretty. Okay, so she needs to make a save.
Yeah.
What type of save is it?
Con save.
Con. She is quite conny. 13 plus 8.
Yeah.
21. But still half damage, right?
Still half damage. So that's only going to be 3.
3, okay. And it means that she can't heal. It's like, sorry to go all grisly, she's kind of getting dissolved from that point that you hit, and that dissolving prevents any healing that she would be able to do. She's screeching, she's hungry, she's tired, she just wants a bath and a glass of wine. Hobby, anything else on your go?
No, that's me.
Amazing. So the vampiric kobolds that you have sprinkled, they are still mid-flight. They've seen you go to Big Mama and hurt her, so they're going to be coming your way. This swarm makes its way towards you. The bites will be coming in. I've got a 12 to hit.
Nope.
Okay.
Where are they all? Where are we all standing? I was under the impression that we were near the exit to the well.
You are.
Like the tunnel.
Yes. But Toby had flown up to
Right.
Big Mama, who was in
Yeah.
there. With the winged kobolds were up there as well. I don't think anyone else is flying. I think Snoot
Not
and
at the
Day,
moment. I
they're
didn't have
you're on the
time.
ground. Yeah. Does that help, Lola? Or
Yeah. No, it's just like, is anyone else going to come into this little sphere of moonbeam?
Moonbeam. The kobolds are swarming. They seem confused. It's like Big Mama's telling them what to do, and Big Mama is confused, so they are confused too. They're trying to attack you, Tommy, but they're unable to get any purchase on you. Savannah, over to you.
Right. So with another flourish of his staff, like kind of going behind his back and then with the other arm, again slamming down into the ground. But this time, a kind of an orb of bright white light just expands outwards. And as it expands out, suddenly comes into focus Savonatai's astral self, which takes the form of a Corey. Which
Tell
is a
me
big,
what that is.
It's a big. I think they live in the astral sea. They're big. They're gribbly. They've got kind of pincery claws. They kind of look like a scorpion with a snake body.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's cute. This whole thing looks quite cool, except for the fact that he's listing very much to the right because of the stiletto on his left foot.
Yes, he is.
But summoning my astral self means that I now have a 10-foot reach, and I can use wisdom instead of strength for strength checks or saving throws. And yeah, I can do stuff with my astral arms. But also, when I do so, each creature of my choice that I can see within 10 foot of me, which is Big Mama kind of melee range to me.
You're not flying, so no.
No, she swept away. But at least the kind of ground kobolds, I think,
the massive kobolds, yeah, you'd be able to get to
them. So each creature of my choice that I can see within 10 foot must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, please.
I rolled a 7 on the dice. I had 2, so that's a 9.
That's not going to do it. You take 2d6 force damage, which I will now roll. 10 points of force damage as this kind of bubble of white just kind of creeps across them. That is my bonus action, so I can now give him a slap, which the Corey just kind of resolves and then is just going to sniff, snip.
Gonna watch on.
Sniff, snip.
My new ringtone. Continue.
I can make attacks. I'm assuming that it's just going to use my. I'm just going to roll my shillelagh thing because I can still use wisdom. Right, that is a 26.
Oh, 26 hits.
And the astral arms do 2d6. I rolled a 3. Oh well. But I do at least get 2 attacks. The second one's a 19.
Hits.
And that is, max 12 points of force damage this time.
Amazing.
So the first one, as it resolves, it's not fully materialized yet, and it just kind of lightly grazes them. The second one just, yeah.
Nice. The swarm of kobolds. Oh, yes, Snoot.
Does that count as a weapon attack, even though you're using astral hands?
I believe so. I can use spectral arms to make unarmed strikes. So does it say melee attacks, or does it say...
It says weapon attack, but with monks it's a bit weird.
Monks are weapons. Nat, do you want to roll a persuasion check for the DM?
Yeah.
What's my bonus as opposed to Snoot's?
Roll a d10, we'll find out.
Oh, that's a d8. That's not a d10.
You failed the test.
Perception's low.
+4.
Okay.
And it's a nat 1.
Oh, no, then they don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, never mind.
But good thinking. Yeah, so Savannah, your hits come in. The force damage kind of blasts so many of these kobolds left, right, into the air. There aren't many left in this form. It's certainly not going to do as much damage as it normally would. Does that end your turn, Sean?
That's action, that's bonus, and I'm staying put, so yeah.
We move over to the now depleted swarm. Snoot, you're the nearest thing to it, so they will be attacking you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Let's see if they hit. That would be a 24 to hit.
I don't even think my gold rings are going to help with that one.
Oh no.
But they don't do as much damage because there aren't as many of them left. 6 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Followed by 14 points of necrotic damage.
And that overrides max HP, does it, that one?
No.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Ow.
Snoot, with that emphatic ow, it's your turn.
Oh no.
Okay.
And you don't have to waste your turn on healing people, you know?
It wasn't a waste. I'm sorry. I should not have worded it that way.
Did they
No,
just
they
had
didn't.
their turn?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
But they
they're in
failed
the
their
moonbeam.
previous con check.
They did. How much damage did they take?
Two.
Now, they aren't doing that great, but they're doing better than a 2.
Like, seriously? I rolled a 1 on both my d10s.
Oh, that was a whimper of a moonbeam. That was a...
It's radiant.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of seeping through the cracks in the roof. It's not quite full power yet.
It's radiant damage, so I guess they won't.
They are still standing, so sadly... Yep.
Wait, does it do more damage against? Does radiant do damage do more than against undead
Not
people?
on their... they don't have any vulnerabilities on their stat block. So sadly, no.
Okay, but it doesn't at least stop them from healing.
Oh, nice. Good to know. Nice. Snoot, your turn.
Okay.
These kobolds are lit in a very gentle moonlight.
Well, that's right. They're fairy fired, aren't they?
Oh, yes, they are.
So you're at advantage to smack them.
Nice.
Smack them. Yes, but if they're looking... Oh, he's not intelligent enough to think tactics.
I love that is like the theme of this game.
Yeah,
It's not intelligent enough. Oh.
Apparently, I'm not intelligent enough to remember the thing that I'd done to them. I could have taken advantage of with my form,
no.
but that's on me. I got them anyway.
We play D&D a lot.
Mm-hmm. So much.
Go on, Nat. What's Snoot doing?
You know what? I think because he's about the longbow, and these things are too close. I think he is gonna jump up, and I'm gonna take the opportunity attack. But Verde, you've got this here, right?
Okay, let's see if they hit. That is a 10.
No.
Okay. The remaining couple kind of snaffle at you, but you get out of the way.
Just a little.
You have training with
foot
Verde.
Smack.
Yeah.
No. And then I'm going to fly up, and I would like to try and strap one of the holy... I know we've kind of splashed everyone with holy water, but, you know, just in case it's worth it.
Yeah.
I'd like to try and strap one vial of holy water to one of my arrows.
Mhm.
And I think I'm going to keep aiming at a big mama kobold. Because I think she's looking like she needs taken down.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that's 2 attacks. That's a 19 and 12.
19 certainly hits, 12 does not.
No worries. Yeah, she's not at an advantage. Okay, so that's going to be... Oh, that's rubbish. That is 6 damage, piercing, but holy water will smash as well.
Okay. She's still standing.
Curses.
Just.
No worries. She flew down, didn't she?
Oh, she did, but then she flew back up again.
Okay, so she's out of range.
Oh, wait.
Of
Wait.
Is she
No,
further
she's in melee range with me.
Yes. But
Is
you're
that
also
30?
flying.
Is
Yeah,
that within 30
but she's
feet of
not
Verde?
like.
Yes.
If it's within 30 feet of Verde,
Yeah.
then he's gonna, he's tearing apart the little kobolds, and a little glob of spit is also gonna join that arrow
Amazing.
for an additional 2 acid damage. His reaction.
She again is still standing, cannot get any health back from that. She also is on the cusp, but still standing. Snoot and Verde, does that end your go?
That ends Snoot's go, but Verde also gets his attack
Verde does
on
also-
the kobolds on the
yes.
floor.
Yes.
So
Kobolds on the floor.
plus 6. No, that's but with advantage. With
fire?
advantage. That is a nat 20.
Come on, Verde.
Oh, no.
Finish him.
What am I doing? Doubling the dice, doubling the damage?
I like to double dice because it's nice, but
Okay.
you can do whatever you want. I don't mind.
No. So that's 2d6 plus 3 damage. That's a 6 and a 4, so that's 13 damage total on, plus the little acid top
Acid
up.
reflux. Does that double?
There's an extra 1 acid reflux on the end.
And with the acid reflux, do you want to tell us how Verde demolishes this swarm?
Yes, absolutely. I think he's still very single-mindedly going after seeing how upset Snoot was that Elias had fallen down.
Yes.
And Verde did not like it when the important gnome fell down. So he's completely tearing into these kobolds, like throwing them left and right. And then as he's finished, there's a little bit of a and then we'll immediately look at Elias and sort of sit up as if waiting for a treat.
Amazing. And with that, Elias, we move over to you. The swarm is no longer near you. Within 30 foot of you is Big Mama and the other swarm of kobolds.
Can I move the thing?
Move the thing. Yeah. Is it an
Move
action?
the
I think it's a
moonbeam.
bonus action, isn't it?
You can
might
use
be
an
lying to you.
action to move the beam up to 60 feet in any direction.
But yeah, you
Oh
can do
wait, hang on.
Oh,
No, I cast it after I woke up. Yeah, it's fine. I was like, I haven't been attacked since because I was like,
that.
oh.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. What did you
I
say?
was going to say they're both the swarm and the mama are in melee range of me. So
Yes.
They're in the same
But
place.
it's 5 foot and they're both bigger. Their radius is both bigger than that.
I mean, the swarm can enter other things' space, so I kind of have it all around. I will say, it's Christmas. Do what you want.
Well, I'll just put it on the big
the
one
thing,
then.
yeah. I
Right, so-
approve of this message. So on their first go, they will. Oh, they need to roll a save. I'll do that now. Con save.
But it's on their go.
Okay, well we'll do it on their go.
So when they start.
So
But-
for your,
She's at the top of the round, right?
she's after you.
Yeah. So that is my action.
Uh-huh.
My bonus action is. I can't do anything with my bonus action. Actually, I can cast a spell
Do it.
because I have a. None of these are good things. Actually. Is that a concentration? That's a concentration. Oh, all of my bonus actions are concentration, other than the smites, but I'm not getting close enough to smite. Sorry! Your tank's already gone down once.
So Elias, does that end your turn?
Yes.
Top
Could
of the
Misty
round.
Step somewhere, but there's no real reason to do so.
Hold on to that thought.
Onto the thing's back.
As the moonbeam moves. G, can you roll 2d10s for me, please?
2 and a 3.
2 giant sections of the roof tumble in. With some coffins, because, you know, lol. A large section of the graveyard above is now visible to you. These things fall on the big kobold. She rolled 7 in total on the con save for the moonbeam. So, Elias, could you please roll that damage for me?
1 10 and a 3, so 13.
13. Do you want to tell us how your moonbeam gets rid of Big Mama? And I'm going to say the swarm with her as well, because everything's falling in at this point in time.
So, as the Big Mama and the Swarm are now starting their turn in the moonbeam, the little, like, motes of fluffy sugar that look a little like snow, but pink and frosty, begin to collect on the skin and like exposed bits of this, and just in the same way that what is the frosted sugar thing that you
Like icing
Frosting?
sugar.
Icing sugar.
no, the thing, candy floss.
Yeah.
In the same way that candy floss melts on your tongue, they just melt. They melt and
Nice.
dissolve together. And it's yeah.
And
Good way
as
to
that-
clean up.
And as that happens, all of you, at the same time but individually, in your ears here, agents, I believe the building is falling in around you. I suggest you get out sharpish. What are you guys going to do?
It's too
Quick, has
high
anybody
for me
got a
to
rope?
misty step. I do.
I will hold my hand out for the end of the rope so that I can fly it up to the hole that is just created.
Amazing. What's happening, guys?
I'm going to try and tie Verde to the bottom of the rope.
Verde is wriggly, but accepts this. Spanatai?
If there's actively kind of patches of graveyard falling in, can I monk shit
Yes, you
and
can.
run up the falling rubble?
Can we have an acrobatics to see how cool it looks?
Yeah, it's not going to look very cool,
But it's
but
gonna look cool. It's Christmas.
16.
Oh, it looks cool. I mean, not like amazingly cool, but like it's like the best one you've ever done, Savannah time. Yeah, you reached the top, no problem.
Acceptably cool. It'll do the job.
Toby, are you just flying? You're flying up with the rope, right?
Yeah, I've taken the end of the rope up. So is it just Verdi's getting tied to the end of it? Or is that
Well, Elias, you misty stepped, right?
right?
You can Misty Step 30
Well,
foot.
Misty Step doesn't go that far. So
Climb up the rope 20 and then 30.
I mean, I can. How fast do I fall so I can Misty Step and Misty Step? No, I can Misty Step to the rope, which is probably a bit heavy for Toby, and then continue to Misty Step again.
Let's just go for an athletics check just to see what's happening on the rope side of things. The Misty Step, we've got that covered, but we'll go for
Okay.
athletics.
Okay, that's a 17 on the dice,
Okay.
and I'm strong, so it's a 22.
You
So
feel
quite
like you could climb this entire rope, but it's been a long day. You're going to Misty Step the rest.
I mean,
well,
when you
the
Misty
thing
Step
is-
and appear on it, I can
I can
Jesus
climb the rope.
Christ, give a bit of warning.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can climb the rope. I'm strong enough to. Toby is not strong enough to carry.
In the festive spirit, Toby, you find an inner strength in which you're able to hold momentarily this very heavy gnome. You are all able to make your way to the top. The graveyard is
I
somewhat
think
not
so.
there
Have I
anymore.
just got Verdi on a 50 feet
On a rope.
rope?
I mean, you can probably keep him there if you want to make sure he's safe all the times, like a toddler. But
Like,
that's
I
up to
think-
you.
I think his dribbling is a bit gross, and so at the moment I'm just like, I know he can stay in it. Because he's still got the bag of bakery stuff, maybe.
Yes, he certainly still has that.
So you're leaving him down the hole?
No, I'm flying with him, but at the bottom of a rope.
Yeah.
So he's like a pendulum.
Yeah.
Munching
Oh.
on cakes.
It's nice. Little drops of acid kind of fall in the breeze as he rises up with Toby. You all find yourselves in the now quite busted graveyard, but it, one of those things that happens on the job.
Fixed it.
You make your way to the town hall where the mayor is waiting for you, along with Mrs. Linseed, who's still holding the tray because that was her job. He thanks you profusely for saving the town. The maids are milking, lords are leaping, ladies dancing, pipers, and drummers drumming are freed from the warehouse where they were kept. They're all a little bit frazzled, but they're happy.
Were the maids milking that entire time?
I'm glad that you caught on to that.
Just a few emaciated cows also emerge.
And in your ears, individually yet all at the same time, you hear, "Well done, agents. A good job, well done. Come on then, back home."
Thanks,
And I-
man.
And I think that might be it for our Christmas special. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the festive chaos that was tonight's game. If you enjoyed tonight, we play D&D every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK time. You can also join us on Friday, again from 6 p.m. For Talk Together, or Talking is a free action. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at YouTube. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. Just search for us. You know what to search for. All kinds of good Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you as well to our D20 Club on Patreon. There'll be a link in chat now. Do join them. Every penny helps us make the content that we do. Big thanks again to our sponsors and supporters. And don't forget, we are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thank you so much for watching. Have a very good Christmas, and we will see you soon.